Welcome to College Boulevard Activity Center. Tonight's matchup between the 0-5 Shawnee Mission West Vikings and the 1-4 Olathe East Hawks. I'm David Compton doing play-by-play, Mike Rollahan doing the analysis, Chris Turner and DJ Turner doing the camera, game analysis, and stats. Welcome to tonight's game. West is looking for its first win after dropping last week's homecoming game to Olathe West 40-14. The win was Olathe West's first in school history. Olathe East enters this game 1-4, coming off a close loss to Shawnee Mission North 40-39, their lone win coming against Olathe West. Coach Tim Callahan is 103-59 overall at West. West is 5-5 in the last 10 games against Olathe East, although West won the last matchup between these two teams 42-14 in the 2015 season. As we get ready to come into this game tonight, we'll listen to a little bit of the Olathe East band, and then we'll come back for some pregame analysis.
Please join us at halftime as the Brigade will perform their 2018 field show.
We wait for the Olathe East Choir to start tonight's national anthem. We'll get started here in a little bit of so we may have to interrupt here as we get started in some of the pregame analysis. But I'd like to welcome in here right now Mike and Chris and DJ back on staffs right now. But Mike, as you look at it, probably other than defense, almost every category really is favoring Olathe East tonight, although both teams only have one win between them.
Yeah, I think when you look at it, it's really hard to say anybody's got a decided advantage, right? Even though Olathe East has almost got 100 yards more of total offense, both teams kind of struggling. Both teams are primarily a running team. Olathe East last week ran almost 80% of the time, so I mean that's really their breadbasket and their wheelhouse. They do pass a little bit more of a controlled passing game, so you're going to see that they've got a few more yards than West. But I think that West is I think they're going to find some opportunities this week, and I think you'll see a little bit more passing there. The big difference I see really comes down to scoring, Dave. Neither team doing a very good job on defense. They're almost giving up 5 touchdowns apiece, but at least on offense, East has at least had some success. You know, they're scoring close to 3 touchdowns a game, a little over 3 touchdowns a game, whereas West just stagnant. You know, we still second half struggles, still not a point in the third quarter.
We get some points early. We look like we're gonna get. We come out. Every one of our games so far, we've got a lead early. And then by halftime, we've lost it, and in the third quarter, we haven't scored there.
Yeah, we're just really going to have to find ourselves. We, as you said, we come out really keyed up. We drive down the field, so many first drive scores, and then after that, just kind of fall off the pace. What's happened, too, is we've kind of let the other team kind of dictate the pace a lot of times. We've had some success on offense, but every time we have some success, we stall ourselves out with some just unnecessary penalties. And then all of a sudden, we kind of, like I said, it kind of dictates the pace of the game. The defense spends a lot of time on the field, and the next thing you know, we're out of rhythm.
last week, as we look at trying to get that offense in gear, the last week one of the biggest things that jumped out at me was I think we unofficially had 55 yards of rushing, which is very un-West-like. And tonight I think we're going to see, last week Trayvon Gilliard was out. This week we should see him back. That should have a significant impact on the West running game.
Yeah, I think so. We've had some key injuries which have kind of hurt us. Trayvon Gilliard not only hurting you on the offensive side, hurting you on the defensive side. I think he's a big spark plug for the offense. I like the fact that he's back in the lineup this week. I think it will provide kind of that spark that they need. I'm really I'll tell you what, you're down to game 6 now. You've been struggling. I'm going to put a lot of pressure on my seniors, Mark Tynes at center and Donnie Smith-Posey. These guys got to lift the rest of the team. You got some young guys out there. They're going to be led by these leaders. I expect these guys to just suck it up this week after a tough one last week and really go after it this week. This is a week they've got to turn things around. You don't get a win this week, and all of a sudden the rest of the season is almost lost to you.
We'll take a brief interruption for the national anthem.
Mr. Baker Prudon.
Shines and bright stars through the perilous fight. For the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Star-Spangled Banner yet wave, for the land of the free, and the home of
Ladies and gentlemen, the Madrigal Choir.
And thanks to Olathe East for the rendition of the national anthem. As we get back, Mike and Chris were talking about the West, those impact players. We talked about the line, talked about the running game. But there's one more time that hasn't totally kicked into gear yet this year. They've shown flashes at it at times. And Wesley Clark caught quite a few slant pass last week. I think had 100 yards of receiving, but that's another piece that get some of this scoring funk out, get in motion.
Yeah, and I think we thought last week was going to be an opportunity for us to kind of break out, and I think what hurt us is, you talked about it earlier, we couldn't get on track with the run game. So when you can't get on track with the run game, all of a sudden you find yourself in decidedly obvious passing downs, and it doesn't help your offense. I think this week will be a little better. I think there's some opportunities for West to throw underneath. I think that the East defensive backs gives them a little bit of space. I see them again. I feel like with C.J. Callahan, he's going to run the veer. They're going to do some reads off that. I think he's going to do some quick hitters on the outside. More on first and second down, trying to get in a better position so you're not in those decisive third down situations, third and long situations. And I think the guys that you're going to look at is you're going to see Cadillo come out of the backfield. We always like that. And then Clark and Humphreys, I think you're going to see some quick, like we talked about, some quick comebacks and some quick slot shots. I think the problem last week is we were kind of cracking downfield. We couldn't get any we couldn't hold off the defensive line, and then so CJ was constantly running off his back foot, and it just was a bad recipe for success.
It's interesting as we go to the West, the defensive players for West that has an impact. The first name that was on your offensive list is also on your defensive list because they felt his absence last week at linebacker also.
Yeah, I think so. We unfortunately that's been our Achilles this year, and with the defense that we run, the 3-5, when your inside backers are hurt, and you're down to you're playing sophomore players. Nothing in sophomore players, they just don't have the experience. And you lost Trevon Gilliard, and he's one of your keys. He's a solid guy in the middle, and he's out of there. So having him back this week, I think, is going to be a decided advantage to the defense. Again, I'm going to say the same thing on defense that I said on offense. You got to, when you're struggling, you got to turn to your seniors, and they've got to be the leaders. Mishak Kyoko, he's the guy on the line that really, when he wants to impose his presence, he can be a guy that can really change the game presence. But what we found is that, sometimes he doesn't keep his head. He gets a little excited, and we get some stupid penalties. So I expect that to be a little better play this week. I'm also going to lean on some of the things that we kind of picked up on some practice films is we typically go with a 3-man front. This week I saw them experiment with a little bit of a 4-man front. So I don't think it's a bad idea. So I think the guys you're going to see up front, I think it's going to be Webb, you're going to see Jones, Smith, Posey, Gleason. You're going to see some other guys mixed in there, but those are going to be the keys. And then I think Wesley Clark has come up big in the last couple of weeks with 2 turnovers, big interceptions on key things. And I look at him, and then Mike Williamson's been playing really good, and I'd like to see him maybe come up with a turnover.
As we look at Olathe East, you talked about they run probably about 80% of the time, but their quarterback, he manages the game, and he leads that running game too.
Yeah, what's really interesting is, again, their big running attack. They will, like Wes, will do some read option stuff. He's not necessarily a big runner, but he'll surprise you just when he's handing the ball off a lot. Watch him make a nice read and get upfield and for a nice gain. So the other thing is, again, they're obviously successful in the passing game. They're averaging about 125, so he'll do that as well. Number 20, Morel Fountain out of the backfield. I like him. He's a young guy. He's a sophomore, but he's really quick. He's shifty. He hits the hole really well. I like number 30, Malik Washington. They'll line him up in a power position. This guy, he's listed as a fullback. He's almost like having a big lineman in the backfield. The guy's really great coming through the hole, cracking back. He's really good leading out front on the sweeps. So I think he's kind of key to the running game. He's the one that frees up Fountain to get some big yards. And then watch the receivers. They like to do. You and I, we laughed about this because we said with such a big running attack, they still spread the field. And they love to bring these guys on jet sweep. Now, they're not always going to run the jet sweep. They'll run it a significant amount of times. But it's very effective in faking and then freeing up a counter or something else.
Defensively, what are you expecting out of these guys? They've been giving up some points this year.
Yeah, I think their defense is kind of their Achilles. And they got a big guy up front, 64, Julian Estrada. He's kind of the guy that takes up a lot of the blocks. But then they'll run kind of a 4-3-D, and the number 14, that Josiah Brown, they'll stand him up. He usually plays his strong side. Now the thing about it, he's kind of a big, lean kid. He's supposed to seal the end, but sometimes he struggles doing that. So it'll be real key as to whether or not he can see that end for them. 41, I like him. He's a great tackler. They're free safety. You can tell they give him a lot of freedom. But unfortunately, he sneaks up there a lot, and I think that he might be susceptible to being beat over the top.
Yeah, you said he was very aggressive, and we may be able to get him at some point.
Yeah, Hezekiah Newman, he's a really good tackler, but like I said, he likes to play close to the line of scrimmage. And then the backers, their backers are all pretty good. But number 33 is kind of a guy that's around the ball a lot, Josh Jameson. So watch him; he likes to stunt.
As we look at West, see if we can get their first win on the year. What are you looking at to see if they can do that? What are the keys here?
Yeah. Unfortunately, there's so many things, Dave, right? When you're 0-5, there's a lot of things you need to correct. I think the biggest thing is execution and discipline, okay? When you watch them on film, it's not necessarily always the play calling, it's just the execution, and it's people following through on their assignments. And then the discipline is just, again, I'm saying this on both sides of the ball. It's playing your man. It's playing your assignment. And when you get outside of that, it doesn't help anybody.
And the discipline goes into, I think, that point down there about the momentum killers. Last week, when we had a couple of drives going, we hurt ourselves with a big penalty, a hold, or an unsportsmanlike or something there that really killed a couple of drives for us that could have made a big difference in that game.
Yeah, way too many penalties again last week for fifth game of the season. I don't know where we were. We were over 100. We were almost 80 in the first half. So we got to, as you said, the eliminate the momentum killers. I see first down success too, and that's where I'm hoping we do some of the quick hitters, because what happened last week is we found ourselves so many times third and long for several reasons. Either we weren't effective on our first down, or secondly, we were killing ourselves in penalties. So, those first down plays and second down plays got to be successful. We got to put ourselves in a third down situation that allows us many options and not just stuck with trying to pass the ball, because we know when we get in a passing situation, we have to bring our double tights in to protect the quarterback, and then you only got a couple guys in the pattern. It's not that difficult to defend. So, and then lastly, I talk about the second half fade. We got to get some points on this. We just absolutely are just getting killed in the second half from a scoring standpoint.
So we're coming up a couple of minutes here to go before kickoff, and so everybody's out here. West won the first half coin toss. They've deferred. They will defend the south end zone and kick to Olathe East to start the game. Olathe East. The interesting thing, we thought last week too that Olathe West was going to run more. They were about a 60-40 run. Olathe East is about an 80-20 run to pass. But I think for everything, we expect them to run again tonight.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'd be surprised if they didn't. And actually, from a West perspective, I think that's a good thing. I like our chances stopping the run versus the pass. So that's good. As far as Olathe East, their opportunities, they're going to run the ball, and they're going to try to control the clock. And I think that's one of the things that kills West. You get these teams that control the ball. We have trouble scoring, and so the less amount of times we touch the ball, the least amount of times we actually get to score.
So Ruben Anderson will kick off, and there's the kick taken by East about the 13-yard line and brought up field to the 20 on the hash. Nice return of about 20 yards to the 33-yard line. So Cameron Byers, number 25, with that return of 20 yards, and Olathe East will start at their own 33-yard line, 1st and 10. And we have 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. And double screen to number 81, taken up for a gain of about 4 yards by Darius Bibbs to the 37-yard line.
Well, glad we're all over that, Dave. We said they run 80% of the time. They come out and they pass the very first play.
Well,
and then the receiver held our guy,
yeah.
But they didn't see that.
They may throw the next 8 times in a row. You never know. All right, run. Hey, one of the things that may sound a little funky at home tonight, it sounds like there's no crowd or anything like that. There's not a huge crowd, but as we'll go for this play, the pitch back and be taken up to the 40-yard line, about a gain of 4. Number 20, Morel Fountain, who gets brings up a 3rd and 3 for Olathe East. The one thing that it'll sound like there's no crowd noise or anything like that. We're in a box with a fixed window, so our field mic is nowhere to be seen. We get a little bit of the PA announcer in here every once in a while, but other than that, we're in a very silent environment. So no crowd noise tonight. So we'll have to make it interesting for you ourselves. So 3rd and 3, there's the give right up the middle, and it's taken up for a gain of 5 and a first down there.
And off to number 20.
Number 20, you'll see a lot of Morel Fountain tonight, I think, won't you guys?
And he's kind of their single back set, so he's going to get the ball a lot. You're going to see when they do some read option, you'll see that Thomas will hold the ball a little bit. And other than that, just the receivers coming out of the jet sweep.
Jacob Port on that tackle for the Vikings. 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line for Olathe East. Back to pass, but he's going to run. It's going to be a draw up the middle and a gain of 5.
That's number 3 on a quarterback.
And a nice hit by number 48.
Tackle on the play, number 27.
Caden Richardson.
Well, they're starting, like the last couple of plays, they started with the 4-man line, and then they're dropping a guy back, so I don't know
Right.
what's going on there.
Well, and what's interesting, we were talking about with East, they spread the field wide and they'll go back in the shotgun, but they still run the ball a lot. I mean, that obviously was a design draw.
There's the give to number 20, Martell Fountain. Martell Fountain. Fountain takes it forward for about 3. It's going to be about third and a yard and a half. They got to get to the west 45-yard line for the first down. And we're coming on 9 minutes and 15 seconds left to go here in the first quarter.
That's the last thing we want to do, though, is leave them as third and short with a team that loves to run the ball as much as these guys do. It's interesting. We talked about pregame Washington being that power guy. Now they got a different guy in the backfield doing the lead blocking at fullback. Let's see if I can get his number.
That's number 42. Number 42, Zach Brock came in to be the sort of that fullback there.
And this is how they like to run the ball. They're not a glorious big game, a big play team. They're just going to keep coming at you, run, and just kind of wear you down, kind of that Chinese water drill, water torture.
Yeah, not quite as bad as Shawnee Mission East, but still nonetheless. So Thomas in there, the give to Fountain again. He's going to break it right up the middle for a gain of 15. 15 on first down, and another first down for Olathe East.
I'm going to stop. I'm going to shut my mouth because every time I say something, they prove me wrong. And as they say they're not a big play team, then they break 15 yards up the middle.
That was well blocked right up the middle. As we go, and
that shows you Fountain. I mean, again, the kid's he's a sophomore, but he's quick. He runs really well. He finds the holes.
And there's Brock back in there as that little H-back fullback. There's going to be the reverse, and it's going to be blown dead. We have a
false
start on Olathe East, which will take him back 5 yards, and it'll be a first and 15.
Illegal motion against the Hawks.
Well, they just wasted their trick play.
I know. I was just going to say the same thing, Chris. That's perfect. When there's a penalty on you like that, you hate to do it on the trick play because you just gave it away.
Yeah.
Now you can't run it again. So that was fortunate for us.
So first and 15 from the 34-yard line. 8 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. Thomas back with Fountain set to his hip. He throws it out quickly, and it's going to be taken forward by Cameron Byers for about 9 yards. So a nice pickup on that first and 15 makes it a pretty manageable second and 6. 9 yards for Cameron Byers on that.
And that's kind of going to be the extent of their passing game. It's going to be kind of those quick hitters. They'll go downfield a few times, but just not too often.
Second and 7 for the Hawks.
Second and 6. There's the throw. Thomas has got number 81 out in the flat who, just tripped up.
That pass complete to
Darius
number
Bibbs had it all the way down to the 15-yard line. Tripped up by West there and gets to the 14. Wesley Clark with the tackle. And you know what, guys? Olathe East got a good little drive going here.
14-yard line.
Yeah, and a couple things you don't want to do. First of all, you don't want to give them the momentum. You don't want to give up the score. But I think the biggest thing, again, it's look how much clock these guys have eaten up, and they've eaten up almost 8 minutes clock.
Yeah, we're 6:45 left to go here. There's Bibbs going in motion and pitch out to Fountain. He's going to try to get wide, and he does eventually. He gets all the way down to the 5-yard line. He's going to be just short of the first down, so it'll be second and about a half a yard. And opportunity about second and a yard.
Wesley Clark did a nice job kind of coming up from a strong safety, forcing back inside. We just didn't have the rest of the team back in their support, and made a nice cut back to the middle.
So a gain of 9 there by Fountain on first down, bring up second and a yard at the 5-yard line. Thomas back in the shotgun. Fountain's going in motion to they're going to swing it to him, and he's going to be able to walk into the end zone. He gets tackled about a yard deep. But that's a touchdown for Olathe East. Olathe East on a 5-yard touchdown pass from Thomas to Fountain with 5:58 left to go here in the first quarter, gets on the board first. And you sort of thought as that guy was going in motion that you were going to have a swing pass to him or they were going to throw it, because they don't run. I don't see that they run out of an empty backfield all that much.
No, and as you said, the play kind of set up in front of you. You had twins out to the left, Dave, and Fountain obviously is their accomplished runner. So it makes sense that linebackers are just going to have to be aware of that, and they're going to have to get out there on them. Otherwise, that's going to be 10 yards every time.
Yeah, we were playing a little soft coverage that whole drive. Like even that pass down here on 1st and 15, they got 9 yards on first down on a little screen pass.
Well, I think DJ was saying last week, just about the aggressiveness of the play. This is a team that they're not going to do a lot of flashy stuff. They're going to do stuff right in front of you. So obviously you want to be as aggressive as you could possibly afford to be.
So the extra point was no good. Missed. So with 5:58 left to go, it's 6-0 Olathe East. And we'll see what West can do here with Wesley Clark and Trayvon Gilliard back to receive this kick from Spencer Gross.
Kicking off, number 21, Spencer Gross. Deep to return this kickoff.
There's the kick. It's going to be short, taken by Trayvon Gilliard at the 12-yard line. He's going to cut back to the middle of the field. He's got a nice little run. He's trying to get around the right side. And he's taken down at the 26-yard line after a gain of 14 on that return. Guys, I thought if he could have just continued to the sideline, to the west sideline, that he may have had a nice little return if he got around the corner there.
It'll be 1st and 10 for the Vikings at the Viking 26-yard line.
So 1st and 10 for West at the 26-yard line. C.J. Callahan under center. Cadillo is fullback, and Gilliard is tailback. There is the give straight ahead to Cadillo. Actually, is fake, and Callahan will take it around the right side, but no gain there.
Callahan on the keeper.
We'll give no gain on that play, that keeper.
Number 29. Blaine.
It's kind of how we started out last week, just trying to establish a run with that, kind of doing a quick hitter other than this time, trying to follow the fullback through. Again, with their line, it appears, they're just like us. They like to use their linebackers to hit the gaps, and you'd like to think you could get 3 yards a play. Callahan
under center and throws it out quickly to Wesley Clark, but he's met right there as the ball arrives. He's met by the defensive back number 23, Jackson Avina.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, Jackson Avina was on top of that. He read that right away and I don't know if it was better for Clark to catch that one or just to knock that ball down, but obviously your instinct is to catch the ball.
So one thing I just noticed on our slot receiver and our wide receiver, they inverted their D-backs. They had up on the slot and back on the outside man. I think they anticipated that throw. I think they anticipated that throw too. So it was a loss of 3 on the throw. A loss of 2 on the throw and a loss of 1 on this run for Trayvon Gilliard. And guys, not a good start right here where you lose three yards on 3 plays.
No, and kind of what we talked about, going back to the keys, you need to come out on first down. You need to get some positive yardage. We didn't. We got stuffed. The second play, we lost yardage. So then you put yourself in a predictable 3rd down position. Typically you pass, but if you don't pass, what are you doing? You're doing a draw play. The draw, that didn't fool anybody, and now you're 4th and 14.
Ruben Anderson with the punt. And it's taken at the 46-yard line. He's going to be met and taken up to the midfield.
Fielded by number 13.
So Ray Lewis with that return.
Kicked by number 99.
So a 29-yard punt and a 4-yard return. and Olathe East will start really good field position for their second possession here right at midfield, guys, with 3:54.
Yeah, and with a team like these guys, you can't give them the short field. One of the things I picked up this weekend watching just some pro ball, and we were talking about, watching some college ball, and I can't remember who the coach was, but they were talking about, it's just a bend but don't break type of defense. Whereas if you know they got to run a full field, you have to have several consecutive successful drives, and he's just betting on.
Thomas got long. He's got number 25, Cameron Byers, and that's a 50-yard touchdown pass on the first play of that series. And
that's when you're playing a team that runs as much as these guys do. You got to watch for the pass. I mean, that's what sets up your pass to be successful. But I'll tell you what, Thomas threw a beautiful ball on that one. He hit the guy right in stride, and that's the hardest ball to throw, is straight downfield, and made a beautiful pass.
So a 50-yard touchdown pass from Thomas to Byers, and that's 2 touchdown passes already tonight, and a 13-0 lead. We'll be right back after this timeout. And the kickoff is coming after that 55-yard touchdown pass from Thomas to Byers with 3:45 left to go. Makes it 13-0. Olathe East here early in the first quarter. Wesley Clark takes it to the 10. He gets forward to about the 17-yard line. A 7-yard return on that kickoff. And I tell you what, one of the things that's showing itself really quickly is field position, where Olathe East has started drives at the 33 and the 50, and we've started drives at the 21 and the 17-yard line.
I'm sorry. I always promise myself I'm going to stay positive, but on that kickoff return, I'm just watching the byline. I'm watching the guys attack Olathe East. Olathe East is just, they came downfield. We didn't pick up our blocking, and that's why we're stuck back at the 15.
There's the give to Gilliard, and he's going to try to bounce it outside, but he doesn't have anything. No gain on that play. It'll be second and 10.
And look at the body language out there, Dave. Again, as we talked about, somebody has got to set the tone for these guys. Olathe East is all geeked up. They're going back there. They're making the plays, and our guys are sitting. We got our hands on our hips, and we're walking around like, this is the same old game as it was the first 5 games. And you got to do something different. You got to change the tone.
I will say one thing that was good to see on that last play is Sebastian Garcia is back out there, and I think this is the first action that he's seen so far this year. So Clark going in motion. There's the pitch out to Gilliard, trying to get wide to the left, and he's not going to get there. It's going to be no gain. No gain on that run, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 10.
And then trying to do something different there. We're taking our slot guy, trying to bring him back in motion to get a crackback block, and we actually kind of got a block on that, but we missed a block on our receiver and our lead block. So
3rd and 10 here at the 17-yard line for West. What you would think would be a passing down here.
Well, and you're inside your 20, and you got to be careful here as well.
And Callahan's back to pass. He's going to scramble to his left. Not a lot there. We're going to have a block in the back on West. So, which will be declined after a 5-yard gain. So a 5-yard gain by C.J. Callahan will stand, and the penalty will be declined because it'll be 4th and 5 here. As we look at the replay here, here's the replay. You see Callahan scrambling out to his left, taking it out to about the 22-yard line. I think they're going to get Trayvon Gilliard for a block in the back right there.
I think so.
So declined. It'll be a gain of 5. We'll stay there with a gain of 5, but it'll still be 5 yards short of the first down. So 4th and 5 with 2:02 left to go here in the first quarter, and Ruben Anderson out for his second punt of the night.
Yeah, I'm looking at that replay. It kind of a suspect block in the back, but again, when things aren't going well, then everything seems to go against you.
Here's the punt by Anderson. Low spinner. It's going to take a nice west bounce, but knocked at the 46-yard line. So a 32-yard punt, and I was going to say they were giving us about 5 extra yards. It should be at the 46, not the 41.
Right.
So a 32-yard punt by Ruben Anderson, no return there. 1:52 left to go here in the first quarter, and after we had the tale of two opposite drives, but the same outcome for Olathe East. The first one is a long, sustained drive for a touchdown. The next one, a quick hit, 55-yard pass. Both of them successful, though, and we'll see. This is going to be up in the air, too. Thomas throwing out to number 81, Darius Bibbs, and he takes it forward for about 5. And you know what, the guys, so funniest thing is, I think they're seeing that soft underneath, and they're just running everybody out of the backfield underneath, and just they're content with throwing it out there and taking 4 or 5 yards at a chunk.
Well, and I think they probably watched some Olathe West game film where they spread us out wide, 5 wide, and did the same thing and threw underneath and were successful with that.
So there's the give to Fountain. He's going to go straight up the middle, and he's going to take it forward to the 41-yard line. So a gain of 8 on second down will make it 1st and 10. There's a 1:11. It's the clock starts after that first down.
Yeah, and that's an effective play. It's the first time they've kind of shown that jet sweep. They bring the guy in motion, so you kind of freezes you for a second. And just as he does that, we run the back up the middle, and he's quick, and before you know it, he's past the backers.
Thomas in the shotgun with Fountain at his hip. He's going to keep it, going to fake it. He's going straight up the middle, cutting to the left side. He's going to take it all the way down to the 15. Let's see where they mark him out. They're going to mark him out at the 16-yard line, so a gain of 25. Nice little fake pitch here as we look at the replay here. Here's the replays. He fakes it to Fountain and then just cuts right up the middle, and is nice bit of blocking by Olathe East to seal that. Has a nice cutback lane there.
And that's what I was going to say, Dave. I mean, they do a nice job of showing power to the right-hand side, but give it to their left tackle. He did a seal block on the end. Everybody over-rotated to their left, and before you know it, I mean, he's 10 yards downfield. And that's what we talked about earlier. Thomas, he's kind of the game manager. I mean, he came up with the pass when he had to come up with the last drive where he threw a beautiful ball over the top. This time he's been handing the ball off, and he takes his turn to run, and he's an effective runner when he does run the ball.
Olathe East takes their first time out of the half with 45 seconds left to go here in this quarter. And I don't know if they just may have got that. I didn't look at the play clock. There's a decent amount of wind. It's actually sort of coming cross field. It's really coming from the east. Maybe a little bit. So it's really coming cross field. So it's not like it's really going to help you out kicking one side or the other.
You know, it's interesting. If you look at the flags on the uprights, they're blowing in opposite direction. These are going this way, and these are going this way. Some sort of swirling wind.
And these the Olathe East band's flags are blowing pretty good right there in our face over here. So 45 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. Thomas in the shotgun again to Fountain. He's going to swing it out there, and Fountain's going to take it around the 15, around to about the 11-yard line, and knocked out there for a gain of 5. and guys, while we're talking about, that's basically an empty backfield.
Right.
When you immediately vacate and have your guys swing there, you're going empty backfield. They're very content with taking that 5 yards or so at a time.
Well, you've got to respect Fountain when he gets out in the flats because he's so quick. You hit him on the run. Now you got a guy that's dangerous anyway. Now you got him up to full speed.
So it's stacked, and now they're going to come back into a tight formation on the left side, and they give to Fountain. He's going to spin, get up to about the 8-yard line. So a gain of 2 on second down will bring up 3rd and 3.
Yeah,
it's actually 3rd and 2.
I was just going to say that was a nice play by Anthony Morris. He came up quick, filled the hole, and made a nice stop on that play.
So a 3rd and, I think he's got to get to, where it is about a 3rd and 2. I think he's got to get to the 6-yard line for a first down. They've got it marked at the 8. Thomas there with Fountain at his right hip, and Fountain's going to go out, swing to the right, and there's a throw and a nice. That's going to be offense. That's going to be offensive pass interference. They're blocking downfield. So the interesting thing here, I think, is West will most likely take this penalty. That's going to be an offensive pass interference because the receivers were blocking downfield before the pass was thrown, and I don't. Although the pass was thrown behind the line of scrimmage, so we'll see what it is.
I think I would decline it.
Here's the thing is where it shouldn't be offensive pass interference because the ball was thrown behind the line of scrimmage.
Right.
The line of scrimmage was the 8. It was thrown around the 10-yard line. So this should not be offensive, and that's why they waved it off.
Okay.
So so we just heard the ball behind the line of scrimmage. We should be reffing out here. So that'll be incomplete. It'll be 4th and 2.
And they're going to go for it.
Yes, and I would say 4th and 2 at the 8-yard line as we come back. So that's the last play of the first half or the first quarter. And as we come back, Olathe East will have 4th and 2 at the 8-yard line. We'll be right back. And we're coming back here for this 4th down play. And as we suspected, it'll be Olathe East will be going for it on 4th down. 4th and 2 at the 8-yard line. Start this. And this would be a very, very, very big play. The yard markers over there at the, I was going to say he's man carrying the yard markers over there at the 14. I'd take that, but I don't think that's where it's going to be. So it'll be 4th and 2 here at the 8-yard line. I'm not sure what the referees are. There must be another media timeout that they're waiting for to come back. So I have no idea what the referees are discussing other than we got a play that should happen for 4th down here. So 4th and 2 at the 8-yard line. They have to get just probably the nose of the football inside the 6. So we'll see what they do. Thomas here in the shotgun. Fountain's going to go out to and he's going to quarterback, keeper, and he's going to take it down to the 4-yard line. A gain of 4 and a first down. And guys,
it's effective play. You've already shown twice you're going to swing the ball out to the back. You have a quarterback that can run. You got an open backfield, which means everybody's man on man. The quarterback's basically a free guy. He's the extra guy. So I like it. It's a good play.
So on the first play of the second quarter, Olathe East picks up the first down and 4th down, and Thomas under center, and he's going to give it to Fountain. He's going to kick it outside. Can he get to the corner? And he does. 11:35 left to go here in the first half, and Fountain gets outside for a 4-yard touchdown run to make it 19-0 pending the extra point. So Fountain with a 5-yard touchdown reception and now a 5-yard touchdown run. Or excuse me, a 4-yard touchdown run.
Number 21, Spencer Groves.
And missed the extra point.
And the extra point is no good, and it'll stay at 19-0.
At 11:35 of the second
So
quarter,
Well, if there's
19 Hawks,
a silver
0
lining,
Vikings.
there are 2 PATs behind. So
We just got to make something up. The the bad
We
thing
just got to
is-
make 2 out of 3 and we win.
The bad thing is we need to get that, but I think if we went to our stats, I'm looking at, I think we have 2 total yards so far off of 2
Offensive possession.
2 offensive
Right.
possessions, -3 on the first possession and +5 on the second possession. And so we've got to get that kicked in gear.
when we were talking at the break, you're 0-5. The game's already off to a really bad start. You got to take some chances. We talked about that on defense, having to be a little bit more aggressive. I think the same thing on offense. We're going to have to be a little bit more aggressive. There's nothing to lose. There's no tomorrow. But I get, it's not like you're giving the game up. You're still in the first. You're just in the second half or second quarter. But again, I always tell my kids, what's the definition of insanity?
Doing the same thing over
Right.
and expecting a different outcome.
Right. Thank you.
So we got to do that. So Cadu, nice kick all the way and out of bounds, luckily. So that'll be out of bounds, and West will take over. Actually, this is good because the best field position of the night, taking over on their own 35-yard line. Best field position by 15 yards all night long.
Yeah, I think Kudo was trying to chase that down. Unfortunately, couldn't get to it, and was a fortunate bounce for us.
So 11:35 left to go here in the first half, and West will start their third possession at their own 35-yard line, the best field position of the evening. Callahan, after starting under center in the first couple of drives, will be back in the shotgun. Gilliard to his right. He's going to keep it, take it up the middle for 5 yards. So they,
Number 10, C.J.
okay,
Callahan.
4 yards. We'll give him 4 yards officially. I thought he might have got to the 40-yard line, but they'll give him officially 4 yards to the 39-yard line, and a nice pickup on first down of 4 yards makes it 2nd and 6.
It's a start, right? It's a start. You got positive yards, 4 yards, and just keep the momentum going.
Humphreys wide left. Clark in the slot. They're going to give it to Gilliard, who is surrounded and loses a yard back to the 38-yard line. And I tell you what, guys, Trayvon had a lot of room to run tonight.
No, and I know what you're trying to do. They're trying to show power the wide side of the field, and you go back to the short side of the field. Unfortunately, when they seal the end, there's no place to go, and that's exactly what he ran into. Just no place to go.
And their backside linebackers are pursuing hard on that one. That was as much a backside linebacker making that play as anybody else on there. So Callahan's going to run to the right or to the left, and he's going to go down for a loss of 3, 4. We'll give a loss of 3 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th and 11. So what was a really promising 4-yard gain on first down turns into a 4th and 11 play. Ruben Anderson's going to be punting again.
And Olathe East's defense has nothing to lose. They're doing strong slant upfield pressure, and they're getting through the line. I mean, their down linemen are getting through the line, which is the linebackers are freed up just to clean up.
No, you see the enthusiasm all over this field for Olathe East, and there's a bad snap that's going to go back, and Ruben Anderson's going to kick it for a penalty. He's going to kick it at the 10-yard line. And we'll see what they call here. Actually, I believe it should just be a safety since he kicked it out of the back of the end zone. Should be a safety.
Yeah, okay.
And that's what it is.
Well, they got their 2
hey,
extra points
I was going to say,
back.
Chris, that's
Hey.
exactly what great minds think alike. It's exactly what I was going to say too. So they got their 2 points back here. It's a 21 to nothing lead now with 9:31, a safety, and we'll be right back after this timeout. So Anderson will kick off from the 20-yard line after that, be a free kick from the 20-yard line after that safety. And Olathe East will take over. We'll see where they take over after this kick. Anderson kicking from the 20, and it's nice kick to the 30-yard line, taken there by number 25 Ayers, who's going to take it all the way up to the 44-yard line. So a nice 26-yard return by Byers, Cameron Byers on that kickoff. And talking about that's the unfortunate thing. You finally get at your 35-yard line, and 4 plays later you've given up 2 points, and they have the ball at your 43-yard line. So you only gained 8 yards in field position, and you lost 2 points. So that's going to be difficult. This field position battle is really going to take a toll on West right now. There's not a lot of margin for error right now. There's the give to number 6, who's I've seen him in. So
We don't have a name on him.
yeah, I had him in the. I saw him in the. Some film from the Olathe West game where I saw him on the field, but he wasn't on the roster, so I didn't get a chance to get his name.
I'm guessing he's an underclassman.
Yeah.
A lot of times, this is probably a sophomore they brought up.
Well, that's what their 2 sophomores have been running all over the whole game.
So a gain of 4 on first down, and there's going to be the give straight ahead.
Once again to number 6, Jack Mason.
Jack Mason is number 6. So
Tackle initial
number 6,
contact
Jack Mason.
by number 8, Xavier Gleesy.
So
Bring up a 3rd and 2.
3rd and 2, he got 4 again. So 4 yards on first down, 4 yards on second down. So bring up a 3rd and 2 here at the 35-yard line. And there's the give to Mason, who's going to be met by Trayvon meets him right at the line of scrimmage for a no gain. That was a nice job. Trayvon got in there, and then about 3 other guys helped him out.
Yeah, a little gang tackling going on. There is a little spirit down there, Dave.
So bring up a 4th and 2 here, and you know what? It'd be a big stop right here because it'd be like the only thing that happened is the 2 points, but you get the ball back right where you'd started the last drive. So we'll see if we can get a stop here. Man in motion. Thomas is going to pitch out to Mason, who's going to get that first down. He's going to take it down to the 30-yard line. A gain of 5 yards on 4th down, and it'll be a 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line of West for Olathe East Hawks.
That's just where you'd wish that you're running to the short side of the field. You could have used the sideline to your benefit and come up and seal, but unfortunately we just didn't seal the outside.
So Thomas back there with Mason in the backfield. Bibbs in the slot to the right side. And number 13, Ray Lewis, will come in motion. Thomas is going to look for it. He's getting run down from the backside. He's still going to throw. Oh, and a nice throw. That's going to be offensive pass interference, though.
That pass complete to number.
We'll
I might
see.
see it on replay. He was so close to the line of scrimmage on that one, Dave.
He got past. So we'll show this. We'll show this
The
replay
line of
here.
scrimmage is a 30.
So the line of scrimmage, he did not throw past the line of scrimmage. So it's a 30-yard touchdown pass to Ray Lewis pending the flag here. And I think what they're going to get, actually, I'm not sure. Oh, he must have stepped out of bounds.
Okay.
The only thing I can think of is he stepped out of bounds.
The receiver stepped out,
Yeah,
came back in.
he did. So there was no, I was thinking there may have been offense pass interference a block early, but the only thing where they threw it back at him, it was he stepped out early by himself. He did not get pushed out. So that's a 5-yard penalty and wipes out a 30-yard touchdown pass. And a really nice job by Thomas to stay open and for Ray Lewis to get upfield.
At the last second to get rid of the ball, yeah.
It was a good throw and a good catch. Just went out. So we'll see. Here's going to be the throw inside to number 81, Darius Bibbs, who's going to take it all the way up to the 23-yard line. So a gain of 12 yards on 2nd and 15 will make it a 3rd and 3. And they're just bringing guys down the line, guys, and just they've got a lot of. We're not getting a lot of pressure down the line. They're just picking up. In that case, they picked up a nice 12-yard chunk, but they're taking at least 5 to 6 yards underneath most of the time. So there's Bibbs going to motion to the middle again. He's going to come back out to the left. Thomas is going to keep it up the middle, and he's going to take it down. Oh, gets hit right short of the first down. So it'll be about 3rd and about a half yard. So
yeah, Chase Webb did a nice job staying home and bringing the quarterback down on that play. That was the same play they designed over here where Thomas had run for about 25 yards the last time upfield. This time they showing motion to all the power to one side, and then him doing kind of a counter back to the other side, and Chase Webb did a nice job of bringing him down.
So 3rd and 1 at the 20-yard line. 21-yard line, and the I formation behind Thomas, and he's just going to keep it, and he's going to go forward for about 3 yards to the 18-yard line and a first down. And with 5:50 left to go here in the first half, Olathe East is going to have 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line. And we don't do official time of possession, but I would say. We're going on 18 minutes of clock here, of play time here. I would say almost 15 of those 18 minutes have been Olathe East has had the ball.
I was going to say the same thing. I said, where we're running into trouble here is your defense has been on the field for so long, and you just get worn down.
So Mason back in the backfield with Thomas, and there's the give to Mason. He's going to cut out to the left side, and Xavier Gleese makes a nice tackle there as he tries to turn the corner on the left side, and no gain on that play with a nice tackle by Xavier Gleese.
No, on that time, Gleese came upfield, did seal the end, just about missed. I mean, the thing that I think you underestimate on this back is just how quick he is, and you've got to get upfield and you got to seal him to the inside, because once he gets around the outside, he's gone.
So Mason back in the backfield, Thomas under center, and he's going to give straight forward to Mason. He's going to take it forward for about 3 to the 15-yard line. So 3 yards, and it'll bring a 3rd and 7 at the just outside the 15-yard line.
And here, this is a perfect time where these guys will like to do either a swing pass or a little bubble screen, and I wouldn't be surprised if they work with the wide side of the field and bringing twins to the right, or trips to the right.
We'll see if they vacate Mason out of the backfield here. They don't, and there's the pass to number 25 right there in the flat.
Wow.
And nice job of attacking Cameron Byers there at the end. He gets swung forward for a gain of 2. So a gain of 2 on 3rd down, but it'll still bring up a 4th and 5.
Okay, that showed me something. When your defensive tackle gets out in the flats and takes down the wide receiver,
Yeah.
somebody's trying to take charge, and I think Dante Smith-Bosey's finally had enough here.
So Thomas in shotgun, Mason to his hip on his left, and here's back to throw, and there's the rush.
All
And
right.
Nice job, Mishak Yoko, and there's the ball down. It doesn't matter, so it's West ball either way. But
The pass. That's a sack.
I think actually instead of over on downs,
Jacob Port.
so I'm not sure if that was Porrit or if that was Mishak over there. We're gonna here as we watch the
From the Viking
It's 59.
Yep, that was
Yeah, it was
Jacob Porrit.
Porrit, yeah.
So Jacob Porrit gets in there.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't
And
forget about those
Sack and a forced fumble. Two
So a
stickers
nice-
on his helmet.
culinary
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we'll give him a forced fumble, even though that would have been a turnover downs. He did force the
Yeah, I think he
fumble, and I
knocked it
believe
out.
we did recover it. So a nice stop there by the West defense, and very much needed. They couldn't afford to go down 4 scores, and Callahan keeps it. Goes forward for 2 yards to the 22-yard line.
This is almost like a must-drive, Dave. There's only 3 minutes left in the half, but you got to control the ball. You got to keep your defense off the field, and you got to put some points on the board. Mentally, you have to put some points on the board. And we talked about earlier, kind of our second half fade. If you don't put some points on
some
the board
here.
here, you're in dire straits.
Just under 3 minutes left to go here in the first half. There's the keeper. Callahan's trying to get around to the left. He's still up, and he's going to go down at the 20-yard line. I think they'll mark him at the 20-yard line. A loss of 2 on that one. So
number 10, C.J. Callahan.
they a loss of 2, gain of 2 on first down, a loss of 2 on second down.
If he gives it to Travion right here.
Ray Lewis.
So
Well, maybe not.
No,
Yeah.
he bring up a 3rd and 10. They mark it at 3rd and 11. It's really 3rd and 10.
with these guys being so aggressive, I mean, it's got to believe we try to do something to take advantage of that. Counter, bubble screen.
And he tries to get out to Wesley Clark here, running up a little fly fade pattern up the right sideline. It's incomplete, thrown out a little too much to the sideline. And nice job of, that's one of the things is that was Eptig number 16. He really he turns his back to everybody else. He's trying to be locked onto that receiver at all times.
He had good coverage on that one. I mean, he was the only receiver to that side, so it's easy because there's nobody else in the zone. When I say easy, I mean I'm not trying to downplay his play. It was a nice play, but when you're single guy in your zone and you get the sideline as your extra backer, that's easier.
So Ruben Anderson gets the kick away, about a 23-yard punt, but I tell you what, they were pretty lucky that ball didn't get blocked by our own guy, or ran a guy around trying to block the up man, the blocker back around trying to get around, and almost ran into the punter as he tried to come back. So a 23-yard punt on 4th down will bring up a 1st and 10 for Olathe East at 1:57, and we have Fountain back in the game for Olathe East. He's at the hip of Thomas, and he's gonna get the ball, and he's gonna get up to a loss of 1 on that play by Fountain. And one thing, guys, if you look at it, it's nice to see the defense.
That's
Here
like 3 plays in a row that they've played pretty well, played aggressive.
They're running around a little bit more and being a little bit more aggressive here. So that's good to see.
We get a little penetration from our bigs up front, and you got Adam Hawkins in there. I haven't seen him in there as much this year in defense. I don't know if we're just trying something different just to get some momentum going.
And there's the throw to Byers out of the 25-yard line. He's going to take it forward all the way down to the 27-yard line. So Cameron Byers takes it all the way down to the 27-yard line. A gain of 16 yards on 3rd down, or 2nd down. and it'll bring up a 1st and 10 at the 27 for Olathe East. 109 left to go here in the first half. And there's the fake,
okay,
and
hitch
he's
and
wide
go.
open. And a nice throw to Ray Lewis, and a little bit of a little hitch and go right there out on the left side, and Ray Lewis catches a 27-yard touchdown pass from Thomas. Thomas's 3rd touchdown pass of the first half. And as we look here, we'll see the replay. We see the throw.
Yeah. The interesting part was that the receiver really didn't even really hitch. He just kind of went straight up field, but the quarterback did a pump fake.
So with 59 seconds left to go here in the first half, it's 28 to nothing. A Thomas 27-yard touchdown pass to Ray Lewis, and not that Ray Lewis, but makes a nice play nonetheless. So,
well, here's where you call on your kickoff return team to put some blocks. I mean, you got to hope for try to break something, try to create a hole somewhere, and get your talented guys in the back, Gilliard and Clark, and see if you give them some holes to run. I'd love to see Gilliard get this ball and just give him a seam, give him some room, and see if you can break one.
So
you got Cadeau back there as well.
You got Cadeau and Trayvon Gilliard back there deep.
Spencer
Grows to kick with 59 seconds left to go here in the first half. 28-0 Olathe East Hawk lead over the Shawnee Mission West Vikings. There's the kick, just going to be along the ground, taken by the up man. That was number 20, Anthony Morris, took that about the 30 and took it forward to the 33-yard line.
And that's smart by East. Really no reason to kick the ball downfield. There's only 55 seconds. We haven't moved the ball even though we have 3 timeouts. Now we do have a short field and you have 3 timeouts, and might as well practice your 1-minute drill.
Yes. So receiver split wide to the right, wide to the left, and that's going to be give to Gilliard. He's going to take it up the middle and has a gain all the way up to the 39-yard line. So a gain of 6 by Trayvon Gilliard. That's the most running room Trayvon's had tonight.
All right.
So 6-yard gain on first down, bring up 2nd and 4 from the 39-yard line. 32 seconds left to go here, and most likely, unless it's an incomplete pass, probably the last play of the first half. There's the give to Gilliard, who's going to get no gain. Yeah, he gets 1 up to the 40-yard line. So a gain of 1 by Trayvon Gilliard on 2nd and 4 will make it a 3rd and 3. So 3rd and 3, 2 seconds left, and that's the end of the first half. So a dominating performance by the Olathe East Hawks here in the first half, a 28-0 lead, and probably I would say 14 out of or probably 20 out of 24 minutes of time of possession. So we'll go to halftime, and we'll have some stats for you, and we'll be back after this timeout. And as the Olathe East band performs at halftime, the scoring recap in the first half, 28-0 at halftime. Olathe East strikes first at 5:58 left to go in the first half. Or in the first quarter, they get a 5-yard touchdown pass from Thomas to Fountain, and then the extra point was no good. It made it 6-0 Olathe East. Then at 3:45 left to go in the first quarter, Thomas again with a nice throw, 50 yards to Byers for a touchdown. The extra point good. That's how we ended the first quarter at 13-0 Olathe East. Fountain with a 4-yard run with 11:35 left to go in the first half. Extra point was missed again, 19-0 Olathe East. And then with 9:31 left to go, a errant snap on a punt led to a Olathe East safety to make it 21-0 Olathe East. And then right before halftime, 59 seconds left to go in the first half, Thomas with a 27-yard touchdown pass to Ray Lewis, his third touchdown pass of the first half, and that made it 28-0, and that's where we are at right now at halftime. We'll be back after this timeout with some stats. Have some first half stats here, and I'll give you the stats. It's not pretty though. 9 total yards of offense for Shawnee Mission West, -2 throwing the ball, 1 for 2 for -2 yards. 11 yards rushing. Callahan with 6 yards rushing, and Gilliard with 5 yards rushing, and that's it for the stats for the West Vikings in the first half. Thomas, really nice play. Looks like he's 11 for 12 throwing the ball for 149. So that's, you know what?
Helps your QBR.
Yeah, as we were talking, Mike. Maybe we just ought to say that every team's a throwing team, and then they'll run the ball, or a running team and they'll throw the ball, because they've had a lot of success all over those. So they have Fountain with 49 yards, nine carries for 49 yards. Thomas 6 carries for 40 yards, and Mason with 6 carries for 16 yards. So Thomas then with 149 yards passing again on 11 of 12. He's only missed one time tonight. And I think
and I mean, in a couple of those balls were, I mean, they're downfield. It wasn't like he was throwing, swing passes out of the backfield. The time he hit
Byers for the 50 yard.
Downfield. It was a beautiful ball over the top.
And he got one called back. Eventually they did get it to Ray Lewis for the 27-yard touchdown, but he had a 30-yard touchdown pass to Lewis that was actually called back. That was on the because Lewis stepped out of bounds early, but that was really a very pretty throw and route on a little bit of a scramble.
Right.
So Bibbs with 81 or 19, number 81 Bibbs with 35 yards on 4 catches. Byers 77 yards on 4 catches. Number 20 Fountain with 10 yards on 2 catches, and number 13 Ray Lewis 1 catch, 27 yards, and 1 touchdown. And as we go back, we're looking some of the keys, guys, and let's do this opposite way that we usually do it. We'll usually go do West keys first and what they're doing right, but right now not a lot's going right for West with 9 yards of total offense in the first half, but a lot's going right for Olathe East right now.
No, I mean, one of the things we talked about was for them, they're coming into this game, we're such predominantly a run game, and we said, listen, if they can control the run game, they control the clock, and without a doubt they controlled the clock. I mean, that goes without saying. I think you said that they probably controlled 18 to 19 minutes of the 24 first half minutes.
I would say, though, that if you look at, you want to establish a run game, they've used their passing game like a wide run game tonight. 12 throws, but I would say 8 of those at least are little swing passes or straight down the line, just using it as an extended handoff and like their run game tonight.
Well, and their runner's such an effective runner, be able to get him out in the flats. He's so quick, and like I said, did a nice job of catching him on the run, so he's up to speed, and he's got some room to run and stay outside. He's not a big guy, and they stayed outside the tackle box, and that's why they were so effective on those pass plays.
So one of the biggest things, that first thing he did is control the clock. I told you we didn't have official stats, but 24 minutes, I bet you they had it at least 19 to 20 minutes of that 24 minutes. They really did control the clock throughout the whole time.
Right. And the funny thing is, the last thing I had on there was attack the West through the air to take pressure off the run game. They did that. I
think you've hit their keys pretty well tonight. And we go back and look, and West keys is 9 yards in, I think, I can't remember, it's four possessions or 5 possessions, but you don't have a lot of the execution hasn't been there.
Execution hasn't been there, and I think the big part we talked about was first down success. we haven't had the first down success. I don't know what we're averaging on first down. I think we had one play where we maybe had over 4 yards on first down, and then when we did, we typically lost on second down, and we were back in. I'd like to know what if we had stats, what's our stats on our third down play? We were probably 3rd and 8 or 3rd or greater on every third down play.
Yeah.
I don't think we have a first down.
We did not have a first down in that last drive. We had 3rd and 3 as the clock ran out. We did not get a first down in the first half, and
we really didn't have the momentum killers. I don't think we really didn't have the penalties, but we.
No, we didn't have the penalties. We just never really could get off the line of scrimmage very well. And the biggest thing there is, we're talking about in the last point there is the second half fade. That's the one thing to be honest with you here, the way this is going, there's nothing more to do. It's 28-0. Could you still win? Yeah. And you better, the thing I'm looking for is some enthusiasm on that west sideline, like you're seeing Olathe East run around to the ball. I've seen West just walk off the field, do that. You got to have somebody make a play, offense, defense, and then another play, and get some of those things a string so you can get some confidence in this game.
Well, the thing is, we talked about this when the game started. When you look at the stats and you look at the teams, you have one team that's 1-5, you get another team that's 1-4, another team that's 0-5. They're not really dramatically the different teams coming into it. The stats were relatively the same. They're 16, 17, and 18-year-old kids. I've seen how many times where adrenaline and momentum can change the shift of the game. They scored 28 points in the first half. Now, granted, we've only been putting up 12 points a game, so it doesn't look like we're the team that can do that. But from an adrenaline and a momentum standpoint, all it takes is a couple plays, and it's amazing. Like I said, when you're talking about young kids, especially these guys, they have so many sophomores out there that if the momentum would shift and you got something going, it's not unrealistically that you could come out and you could put some points up and do the same thing they did in the first half. Now, granted, they didn't do. I think they took advantage of every time they had the ball. I mean, what did they punt? They punt.
They didn't punt.
Did they punt? I was
no,
thinking
they
punted
didn't
once.
punt.
Okay.
They gave it up the one time. We did have a nice. Jacob Port had a really nice stop there on 4th down, where he actually stripped the ball. It was 4th down, and they wouldn't have got the first down either way, but he actually stripped the ball and recovered it. So that was the only time that they did not score in that half. So out of five possessions, they scored on 4 of those 5 possessions, and that's the thing. You're just going to have to. West is going to get the ball here to start the first half. They won the toss, deferred, so they will take the ball to start the second half. They will receive the kick. They will defend the north side, and Olathe East will kick off with a little bit of wind. Again, it's a little bit of a sideways funky wind. There's not a lot of it. It is coming a little bit more to the north out of the south, but most of this is cross field. And one thing we did see when he kicked here in the first half, I think the one kick he had, the one kickoff, it did go out of bounds around the 2-yard line, so he's able to kick it deep, but it did go out of bounds.
Yeah, and this guy's been a pretty effective kicker. He kicks the ball pretty high, which allows him to get some good coverage. So let's see what he does with this second half kickoff.
So Spencer Gross is going to kick it off here. There's the kick, and it is deep, and it will go into the end zone. It'll be brought back to the 25-yard line. And again, West had the one drive that started at the 35 because the kick went out of bounds. Other than that, West did not have good field position at all in the first half.
Yeah, I don't know what they would have averaged, but to your point, Dave, I think that it would have been somewhere just outside the 20.
So there's the first play of the second half. Callahan under center. He's got Cadillo and Gilliard in the backfield. They're just going to give to Gilliard, who's met right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that play.
Running back number 27, Trey Vaughn and Gilliard.
So no play on that on the first play. And I tell you what, their defense, they're not a big defense. They're flying around with the ball tonight.
And they can afford to. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, they can afford to be aggressive, and they're doing it. And we did try to counter on that, try to maybe play off their aggressiveness, and unfortunately we didn't take advantage of it.
So there's the looking for Will Humphreys and the quick throw out to the right flat, and that's going to be a gain of
First down.
14 and a 15 yards on the first down. And on the second down play, we'll bring up a first down. West first down of the night, a 15-yard a 15-yard gain to Will Humphreys. So, again, what we were talking about at halftime, somebody's got to make a play, and another play, and another play. You just got to build on it
Right.
and keep going from there. And no gain. When your back has to turn his back to the line of scrimmage,
Yeah, before you get to the line.
before you get to the line of scrimmage, that's tough.
It's not a good sign.
And he looks like he's hurting a little bit too. Looks like he might have hurt a hand.
Yeah.
His hand or another part of the body. We'll see how it goes here.
So it looks like Cadeau came in to replace Gilliard.
So that was interesting. Cadeau came in to replace Gilliard, and it was Kenny last week who was carried the. I don't know. I apologize. I haven't kept a real close attention on defense, but I don't think I've seen Kenny tonight.
No.
He's definitely not on offense. Gilliard's gone there the whole way so far, and Callahan's going back to throw, but he pulls it down to run, and he's going to pick up about 3 to the 38-yard line. It'll bring up a 3rd and 7.
I don't know really what happened there. Did
That
they
look-
get crossed up? I mean, because Humphreys looked like he was open.
And I'm just wondering as we look at the replay, it looks like he pulled it down from the beginning.
And I didn't see it. Maybe his vision was obstructed. He got big number 14 playing on the defensive end there.
And we're going to blow that play dead.
There's a flag on the play.
And I think we just gave away our hand there
On the offense, it's a 5-yard penalty.
That's
with a rollout pass where we typically roll out with Cadillo underneath.
the tough thing, guys. There we were talking about making a play and then the next play and the next play. You get that nice, you get that nice throw in the gain, 15 yards to get your first down, and then it's been backwards since then. So 3rd and 13 here. Callahan back to pass. He's going to throw it to Wesley Clark. He makes a really, really nice catch. And guys, you got it. Maybe you can get it going. That's 15 yards. That's 15 yards on 3rd and 13, and gives you your first down all the way out to the 48-yard line. A nice throw and a nice catch with his hands. Wesley Clark does a nice job there.
You got 2 first downs. Now's time to start building some momentum.
So there's the give straight ahead to Cadillo. He's got nothing going.
Handoff to number 22.
Oh, okay. They'll take advantage of that. Mishak
And
is
we'll see
mixing
whether
it up a
it's
little bit with
Number 29. So we'll see Lane Wojciechowski. We'll see who gets it. It's going to be on either. It's going to be on either 29 of Olathe East or 55 of Shawnee Mission West, one way or the other. They're going to discuss it right now.
When you throw a hand underneath the guy's face mask and you're wearing bright orange gloves, sometimes it's hard to hide out there when you're in front of the ref. I don't like the way they're talking this over for so long. I usually...
Dead ball, personal foul. On the
Okay, we did.
15-yard penalty.
I tell you what, guys, we've had, 3 15-yard pickups here in a row. So we had the pass to Humphreys, the pass for 15. You had the pass to Will or to Wesley for 15, and got a 15-yard penalty right here.
I might take a shot here. I mean, you kind of got him. You kind of sucker punched him there, and let's see if we can catch him sleeping. I maybe go over the top.
The Olathe East coach is not happy with this call. I will tell you that right now. So he's going to continue to talk to the head linesman down here as the play getting out, and number 29 will come off the field for right now. Callahan under center, 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line. He's going to roll out to his left, and he's going to throw. Nice throw to Xavier Gleese.
There you go.
Hey, guys, we got another, 14 yards right there. So 14 yards from Callahan to Gleese, and this is what we're talking about. Put some plays together, one after another, one after another. It's not going to come overnight.
And the thing is, as you spread this out a little bit too, it's going to soften the defense up for your run because they can't play as tight.
So Callahan's looking for Will Humphreys, and and he tried to get him on the slant.
I feel like he just held that too long. I think what was happening, he was trying to get the receiver to clear the outside linebacker, and that's one of those plays that sometimes maybe you're best throw that one away.
Yeah, as we look at the replay right here, he had to clear the defensive lineman right there, and he held on to it for just a second. Number 1, Markel Wills, tried to come over the top of that, and part of that may have been with the split so wide. We'll come back. Callahan's looking for Wesley Clark, and he's got him in the end zone. A nice touchdown pass, 22 yards on the touchdown pass from Callahan to Wesley Clark, and hey guys, we're on the board. That's nice to see.
Hey, you know
some
what?
Chunk plays right there the whole long. There's some nice 15 to 20 yard plays,
and we actually scored quicker than what they scored in the first half. So it can happen.
So with 8:37 left to go here, pending the extra point, 28-6. Ruben Anderson on for the point after touchdown.
We got Brian Brown holding. Oh.
And the point after is no good, so it'll stay 28-6.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm looking down doing my stats. I wasn't paying attention.
We'll watch the replay here as we go here. We have the replay for the extra point. And the snaps low and on here, and Brian Brown tries to get it out in the flat.
He almost
to Xavier Gleese, and just a little bit short. So that's where we are right now. 8:37 left to go here in the in the third quarter, and it's 28-6. And I tell you what, all the things we talked about at halftime. One thing is, you just got to come out and play, and it's going to have to be baby steps, but you got to keep walking that whole way, and that was a nice job to see there.
Yeah, and I think we came out, we threw the ball more in that drive than we threw in the whole first half, and but safe plays. We didn't. Some slant patterns, some rollouts where he's hitting the guy underneath. So it was perfect for.
And then that touchdown was a little double move that.
And the touchdown was nice too, because what you did was you got defensive back, wasn't paying attention, kind of threw a little back door.
Yeah.
Little
stop
pocket.
Came back and got it.
Yep.
So
here's where you need to stay. You need to dial up and stop it. But if you're gonna be motivated, hey, you came out, you scored. And the first time we scored in the third quarter, guys.
Yeah, the first points in the third quarter all year.
All year. Okay, so hey, let's play off of that. And let's get this defense riled up here.
So Anderson's going to kick, angled, taken at the 15. Byers at the 15-yard line. He's going to take it up to the 35-yard line. So a 20-yard return by Cameron Byers, and Olathe East will have it at the 35-yard line, 28-6. Shawnee Mission West trails, but gets their first points of the third quarter this year, and. Guys, a nice drive. That was started at the 25-yard line,
right.
And a 75-yard drive for a touchdown there. Nice to see. Now we just gotta. We'll see if they adjusted to some of these underneath throws and taking away these 5-yard chunks at a time. There's a throw, low snap, number 85. Nice job. Okay. Now part of that.
It was a low throw.
Yeah.
Threw him off a little bit.
So Miles Wills gets the catch. Part of that got disrupted with the low snap, and the timing got thrown off a lot. But it was nice to see. It was nice to see if you watch the replay right here, watch that they attacked this pass real quick. It's a nice job of getting to the
He's got
receiver
to be behind the
and
line
get
of
back
scrimmage,
there.
too,
So,
as opposed to getting him upfield 5 yards downfield.
so Olathe East, there's the give to Fountain.
Again.
Hey, I like
Hey.
to see that. Xavier Gleese. Now a loss of
3 or 4, huh?
now loss, and now it's going to bring up a 3rd and 14, and it was a nice job. You're starting to see you got the enthusiasm here. Maybe a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more.
Exactly, and exactly what he said. These are 16, 17, 18-year-old kids, right? I mean, the adrenaline switches sides like crazy.
And there's a nice job in the replay where Xavier Gleese gets the tackle. So it's a big play, 3rd and 14 here.
Wow,
We
I
weren't
never
able to
saw
get
this
him off
many
the
guys in the
field here.
backfield first.
There's the deal. And just gotta pursue, and there's going to be a
Ow.
penalty, and that's going to be.
It's gotta
I
be a
don't
hold.
think that's going to be a hold. I didn't see a face mask.
Yeah, because the guy on the end, I don't know who it was, but he was grabbing him the whole time, I think. It looked like.
Declined. That's on Olathe East, so that's going to be declined. So, no gain there on. A gain of
Yeah,
1.
yard,
We'll
right.
give them a gain of a yard on 3rd down. And tell you what,
Hey,
pending this punt, this half couldn't have started any better for
did
the
these
West.
guys go change uniforms at halftime? Did we switch? Because when we talked about that at halftime, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but we said they're relatively the same team, right?
Yes.
And we came out, we scored, and we shut them down to 3 and out. So anything can happen, guys. Let's play off this, and we're going to be playing on a short field. We've seen them.
Oh, we got a false start.
So we
even
got a
shorter.
false start.
Flag on the play.
So Clark back to receive this punt from Gross. And 7:08 left to go.
Hey, you get another score here quickly in the 3rd quarter. It's a ball game again. So, and it's not unthinkable that it could happen. I mean, you've already pushed the punter back. You're going to be on a short field. This is playing into West's hands. You got to take advantage of this.
Clark back at about his 40-yard line trying to field this bouncing snap. And not a good kick, but he's probably going to get a bounce. Straight out of bounds. Straight outside. So that bounces out of bounds at the 40.
Oh.
Okay, the 44.
Did he
I
take
would've
an
said
extra
40,
step?
Yeah.
It was a 45, wasn't
That
it?
went right out of the 45-yard line, but they'll give it to him at the 44-yard line. So,
Is that the punter's dad? Is he
Grandpa, it looks like.
yeah. So 1 yard difference here or there. That actually could have been on the other side of the 45-yard
46.
line.
We
It's
lost
closer
2
to
yards on
46
that.
when we're looking at the replay.
That's all right. We need more yards.
So Callahan under center. There's the give to Gilliard. He's looking for it. He's trying to get back to the left. He gets forward to about the 47-yard line. So 46-yard line. We got a penalty. And it's probably going to be on West here.
Josh Jamison. There's a flag on the field.
They got a hold on West, so that's going to come back. That's going to be a 2-yard gain and probably about 10 yards. So it'll be about chop block.
15-yard penalty. Replay it down.
I hate to say it, if it was a chop block, it was an ineffective chop block.
So a 2-yard gain.
25.
Actually, not a no gain. Because they accepted it. I was thinking it was a hold. It would be a 2-yard gain to come back. But that was a lot. Hey, that's a 15.5-yard penalty,
I
not
see
a
that.
15-yard penalty.
I was looking at the same thing, Dave. I'm looking at the down markers. And
So
these
it's-
guys have a hitch in their giddy up because they take an extra step.
So Will Hucker's going
Will.
to take it out. He's got it nice. He's going to break it to the 50. He's got it to the 45, 40. He can't break the last guy, but he's all the way up. And that's going to be a penalty.
Hold on, yeah.
That's going to be a penalty on number
top of it.
64 for
64 for Olathe East. Is going to be another 15
you'll
yards.
see
So yeah, as we watch the replay here, we
There
watch
was
the
a little
replay as Will comes
extracurricular
back
activity.
around, and
They were kind of battling, then he threw him on the ground, I think. Oh, it's just
Big man came back.
yeah, he
and
should be
just-
ejected.
Yeah, he just took a
Unnecessary roughness on the defense. 15-yard penalty.
so a 15-yard penalty.
wow. What you just offset? How many yards? 10, 20, 30. That's like a 50, almost a
Right.
60-yard.
13-yard line.
difference in field position.
23-yard line.
So there's the give to Gilliard. He's going to take it forward for. Oh, and he breaks it. He was
He's still
stopped,
up.
and he
Oh,
breaks
to
it
the
down
one.
all the way to the 1 yard line.
Nice
He
route.
was stopped for about a 2-yard gain, and he breaks it out there. So Gilliard gets a 22-yard run down to the 1 yard line. It'll be 1st and 10, and we'll look at that. We'll look at that replay again here. You see him. He was stuck there right about a 2-yard gain. And then he breaks out,
Bounce outside.
bounce it outside, and he's got
Right,
the 1st and goal at the 1 yard line.
Guys, what we talk about here? This is a early game. We punch in the end zone here. We're in good shape.
So Callahan under center, he's going to take it forward. He's in there. I think now he's going to be about right at the line. So still, it'll be 2nd and goal from about the 6-inch line. We'll see what goes here. So
How did he not get in, though?
Put that ball in about the 1 foot line. It'll be
Wow.
2nd goal for
I'm
the Vikings.
I'm watching that replay. I don't know how he's not in, but again, hey, same play. I don't think you don't risk the handoff. You know the count. You know where you're going. Just take it in. You got a big quarterback.
I think he's in there.
There he is.
He's in. He's in. Touchdown on that one. So a couple of big plays. We have I think a 34-yard run by Will Humphreys with another 15 yards on a penalty on that gives it for a 49-yard gain. And then a 22-yard run by Trayvon Gilliard takes it down to the 1 yard line, and on 2nd and goal from about the 6-inch line, C.J. Callahan punches it in for a touchdown, and hey, it's 28-12.
Hey, it tells you a little momentum and some adrenaline will do it. Gilliard runs a little tough on that. He breaks a couple tackles. He's to the outside and takes it down to the goal line. You know, now it's just the complete opposite game of what was happening in the first half. Now you're Olathe East and you guys going, oh, shoot, this is starting to play into like some of the other games we had this year. You're West, you're going, hey, things are starting to look up. We just scored 14 points. We scored more points in the second half than we have in any game this year.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
right. We haven't scored more than a touchdown in the second half all year.
And actually, we're looking at as many points as we've had 14. I think is our
We're
high
averaging
so
12.
far.
And gosh, if we wouldn't have given up that safety,
Yeah. So
who knows?
I tell you what, the encouraging thing, and we talked about this at halftime, is you got a little bit of giddy up now. And I can tell you, there's some creeping. You look at the Olathe East guys down here. They're starting to, hey, you got to get going. There's starting to be some doubt creeping into their minds right now, and West has to capitalize on that. They
Right.
can't let these guys back in the game and get their mojo back.
Absolutely. And it starts right here on the kickoff, you know. I'm going to do, you're going to angle kick it, try to pinch it back in the corner and get him, to some reasonable field position.
So Anderson will kick off from the 40-yard line. 5:11 left to go here in the third quarter, 28-13, Olathe East. There's the kick. It'll be taken at the 12-yard line. It looks like Byers at the 12. He's going to take it up to about the 32-yard line. So Byers is going to have a 20-yard return up to the 32-yard line, and that's where Olathe East will start. And hopefully we see a little bit of that enthusiasm like we saw in that last drive, which was, I think, negative 4 yards on that first drive for Olathe East.
It was just the aggressiveness that we saw, Dave. How many times did we, on that drive, we saw them get hit behind the line of scrimmage, probably for the first time all game. Our
Twice,
outside linebackers, our DBs are coming up, playing tighter. They're driving on the ball. And here, now you've got Olathe East. They're more of a stacked lineup, which makes it a lot easier for our defense. We only have to cover half the field.
So they're going to bring 81 in motion over to the right, give it straight up the middle, and take it forward for 3 yards. That was Fountain for 3 yards up to the 35-yard line. It'll bring up 2nd and 7 there. 4:49 left to go here in the third quarter.
But I tell you, if they come out of that stacked lineup again, Dave, our backers just got to fill the holes. spreading it out a little bit here on this play, but the last 2 times they've been really stacking that offense.
And there again, 81 in motion. They're going to fake to him that time. Take it right up. That's a nice run by Fountain. He got a little bit of a crease and he gashed it right there. And he's got a gain all the way up to the 44-yard line. So a gain of 9 gets a first down for Olathe East.
Right.
That is a Hawk, first and 10.
So Fountain with the carry. They're running a lot. We'll see if they do anything with Bibbs here. They brought him in motion across the formation twice.
And they haven't done a jet sweep. They haven't done that handoff yet. So look for that to happen.
So Thomas is going to give straight up the middle to Fountain again. And tell you what, Fountain's run a little bit man-possessed on these last few carries. He's seen a hole and he's trying to go for it.
The thing I don't like what I'm seeing, though, Dave, is they're owning the line of scrimmage. Our whole line and our linebackers are 5 yards downfield. I mean, there was no penetration on that whatsoever.
So right at midfield, a gain of 6 by Fountain there will bring up 2nd and 4 at midfield. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, and a slot on the right. They're gonna go to the backfield, and there's that swing pass to Fountain. And that's what they did so effectively, and it's going to be a penalty there. I think an illegal block, or a hold on Olathe East is going to wipe out a first down. So,
and they get us in a mismatch on that, Dave, when they're out there on the twins on the side, and when you're trying to rotate your outside linebacker out there against Fountain, it's just that's not a.
Well, they had trips, I think, on that one.
They did have 3 receivers.
Yeah.
So
you don't have a chance of bringing a linebacker on Fountain. You almost need to, like a Wesley Clark or somebody, a strong safety's got to take that guy.
And that's going to be, as Chris pointed out, they have 3 receivers over there, 1 wide, 2 sort of slot receivers, and the ball's thrown behind the line of scrimmage. They're immediately going out and blocking. So you're going to have somebody on the defense to make that play to get up there. This is the same formation to the other side. Now they're running it. Oh, and a nice job by Gilliard to read that and get him out of bounds. So the 15-yard holding penalty wiped out that other first down, and it'll be now a 3rd and 11 from the 43-yard line, and another huge play here, guys.
Right. And here we don't have to be overly aggressive, but we've got to be aggressive off the first step.
So Thomas back in the shotgun.
And here's where
Fountain to his left.
They're going to show to the right, and they'll want to go back left. They show against the power.
Yeah, they're trying to get 25.
Oh, no.
Oh, what a catch. Oh, Mitch dropped it. I think we might have to do the replay on that one.
Yeah, I hear some of the coaches in the room next to us questioning our coverage on that. But
the one thing I would look at, too, was he was really close to the line of scrimmage when he threw this ball, but
he juggled it. He almost caught it.
He did almost catch that.
Well, what happened?
Oh, nice. He was probably the last line of scrimmage. Ray Lewis with a nice snag, trying to get that ball at about the 30-yard line, but we'll see. But that brings up another punting situation, and Wesley Clark's back inside his 30-yard line to get this one, and he's going to catch it at the 27 short, and he'll go down right at the 28-yard line. So West, 2:43 left to go here in the third quarter, and Wesley Clark will catches that punt at the 27, goes to the 28-yard line, and West will start there with 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line with a lot of momentum, guys.
You get an opportunity to actually score 3 times in a quarter. We haven't had trouble scoring 3 times in a game this year. So, this is where they really get the momentum going. Then you've really got Olathe East checking themselves.
Callahan rolls out to his left. He has nobody there. He's just getting rid of the ball.
Yeah.
He was trying that leak out of the backfield to Cadillo coming underneath, which is usually a pretty good play for the West, but didn't work on that play.
The frustrating part about that, too, is just the backside, outside linebacker. All somebody had to do is get a chip block on him. He chased him all the way from the backside. And right here, our back, Gilliard, Gilliard misses him out of the backfield, and all you need to do is chip on that guy and would have given him some time. It makes a difference of, as we talked about, execution and discipline.
There's Gilliard trying to get, but he has to spin at the line of scrimmage. And as we look at this, the tough thing is the end came across, and Gilliard was spinning before, as soon as he gets the ball.
Yeah.
Is actually the nose guard came straight down across, and Gilliard spinning as soon as he gets the ball. So here's the third down play, 3rd and 11. Callahan's rolling out to his left. He's looking for receiver, and he has his receiver, but he's going to be about 2 yards short of the first down. So a gain of 8 will give it actually a gain of 11 on 3rd down. It'll be interesting to see if West goes for this. So you got a minute 50 left to go.
No,
I think they're going to punt. So you have minute 50 left to go.
Yeah.
And they're going to punt. So it's a 4th and 2 from the 36-yard line. And we'll see. Here's Sebastian Garcia running in late. They're 6'5". We'll see if they pitch. There's the kick, or the.
Oh.
And it came off the side of his foot as he was trying to elude a blocker in there. And so out at the 42-yard line. So
you gained 16 yards of field
16
position.
yards, and part of that is he just didn't have the man came actually right up the middle. That was the guy right up the middle who almost blocked that he had to elude that. So we're almost right back where we started from here just a second ago, and 1:40 left to go here. 28-13, Olathe East. Shawnee Mission West needs a big stop here again. And he's going to go. Thomas has got. That's the first time you started seeing bibs. They're running bibs at that action across the formation. The first time they've tried to run them, they ran them upfield there, and we'll see what the flag is. It's right at behind the line of scrimmage. So we'll see if it's holding on. Yes, and it's holding on Olathe East. So that's behind the line of scrimmage. So it's actually end up going to be about a 13-yard penalty and not a 10-yard penalty. So
we just don't need to give up a big chunk right here.
No.
We'll be all right.
No, and Olathe East is playing right into our hands. They're doing everything we need them to do. They're not executing. They're creating their own penalties, and so they're putting themselves in bad field position. We continue to dial up the pressure on these guys.
So 1st and 23. There's the give right up the middle, and not a lot there. He gets about 3. Fountain gets about 3 up to the 32-yard line. So it'll be 2nd and 20 here. And the other thing is, they're not taking a lot of time. They're giving us possessions too. We've talked about we still have a minute 15 left to go, and we've had 3. Now we had the first kickoff, but we had 3 possessions in this. I think in this quarter we had 4 possessions the whole first quarter, or whole first half.
Reversal of the clock of time and clock.
So Thomas in the backfield, and there's Bibbs again with the action, but it's not going to go anywhere. The pitch to Fountain, and a great job getting out. Now just got to contain him. Dante Smith-Posey does a really good job of meeting him in the backfield and pushing him wide, and that's a loss. That's a loss of 2 back to the 30-yard line. As we watch this replay here, you see a really nice job by Dante Smith-Posey. Just gets great penetration, hits the man about the 27-yard line, gets forward to the 30. So 18 seconds left to go. There will be one more play here in the third quarter. It's 3rd and 21 for Olathe East. We'll see what they dial up here. There's the give to Fountain. He's trying to get outside. He's not going to get out.
There we go.
Oh, nice job by Trayvon Gilliard. So he tried to get out of bounds. We watch this.
I'll tell you, if you can dial it up the way we need to dial up the second half, Dave, the first half possession, getting the ball back, another quick score, getting these guys 3rd and 22, it's the perfect recipe for us to have an opportunity.
And there's the replays. We see Gilliard take the man down at the 35-yard line and stops him there. So a really, really nice play by Gilliard to stop and bring up a 4th and 15 here. And we're going to stay here for the during the timeout here. End of the third quarter, it's 28-13.
I'm watching Coach Callahan down here. He's lobbying for something. He's not happy about something. I think we're talking about the interior lineman and something having to do with holding and cheap shots and
see what they do.
Extending arms, it looks like here.
This is going to be a big punt here. 4th and 15, a punt from the 35-yard line. So you got to think, if you look at these other punts here, West is probably going to do no worse than starting at their own 30-yard line.
Well, Wesley needs to realize that the wind's blowing towards us.
Yes,
so he needs
cross.
to come this way a little bit more, I think. Just
I was trying to figure that out too, Chris.
This way.
Is the wind blowing across?
Yeah, if you see those Hawks flags right there, it looks like they're...
It's coming across the field there a little
for sure.
bit. Spitting a little bit of rain here, but not bad. And there's the kick taken by Clark at the 36-yard line. Oh, he holds on to it, but he gets met. Tried to run maybe just a little bit before he had hauled it in. And
well, the most important thing on that was that he just caught the ball in the air as opposed to letting it drop, because that ball drops, that end-over-end kick, he probably lost another 20 yards. So we just saved ourselves probably 15, 20 yards of field position by him catching the ball in the air.
So West takes over at the 38-yard line. And it's 1st and 10 at the 38.
He's lucky he didn't get it knocked out of his, because he got hit when he caught it.
Yeah.
I was watching that replay.
He did a good job of holding on to it at the end. There's the give to Gilliard. He's going to try to get out, and he does. And he breaks free. 45, 40, 35, 30. He's going down the sideline, down to the 20-yard line. And that's the second job by Gilliard, who looks like he stopped about the line of scrimmage for a couple-yard gain, and he breaks it.
Hey, Dave, different man running.
Was that not a face mask?
And we'll see the replay here.
The guy that gets him after he gets past the line of scrimmage, like right here, was that not a face mask?
How many yards is that, like 40?
That was 38 to the 21.
41. So 41-yard gain by Gilliard there on 1st down and 10, and he'll take it up to the 30, to the no gain to the 22-yard line. So no gain there. We'll bring up second down and 10 at the 22-yard line.
Positive
Callahan
yardage.
under center. He's going to roll out to his left. He's trying to set, and he's got
Clark.
Oh, he's got Wesley Clark, touchdown in the end zone, right to the pylon.
I missed it.
Right over the outstretched arms of the number 16, Jordan Epling. And if we get here, we'll watch the...
I missed it. I was watching it. Sorry.
Oh, I tell you what, that was right in the corner of the end zone. 10:53, the corner right at the pylon, right inside the pylon. And Wesley Clark gets the touchdown on a 22-yard pass from C.J. Callahan to Clark. And the extra point is up and good. And with 10:53 left to go here in the fourth quarter, it's 28-20, Olathe East over Shawnee Mission West. We'll be right back after this timeout. So Callahan to Wesley Clark for the second 22-yard touchdown pass of the second half. Makes it 28-20 with 10:53 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Guys, we got ourselves a ball game.
Hey, we talked about it. I mean, it seemed far-fetched at the time, but again, how easy momentum changes and how the tone of the game changes. And I'll tell you, you can't tell me that Gilliard isn't running a little different because of the momentum, the
Absolutely.
adrenaline.
Ball blows off the tee, and Anderson will re-tee it here. Again, 10:53, all the momentum on West Side right now with most of this fourth quarter to go in a 8-point game. They are going to have to make up that extra point that was the low snap. That's going to have to be made up, but we'll see if we get that done. Anderson back to the 9-yard line. It'll be taken there. It's going to be broken out to the outside, and it's going to be good field position for Olathe East as they're going to start around just inside West territory. So a nice return by number 25 Cameron Byers all the way up to the West 48-yard line. And
I was just going to say before that play, I wish I was that Byers scares me. He's a fantastic open field runner, and he's back there on all those kickoffs. I would kick away from him.
So let's see if West's got another stop in him. I tell you what. They pitched a shutout so far in the second half. They've played some really good defense. They've taken advantage of a couple of penalties on Olathe East, and we'll see what happens. Thomas is going to give it to Fountain. He's going to take it up the middle, and he's got a nice gain of about 5 up to the 43-yard line, and he'll bring up a 2nd and 5 there with 10.5 minutes left to go.
You know, I can't believe they haven't pulled out that jet sweep yet, so I'm still waiting for that to happen. They keep showing it. Sooner or later, that's going to play.
And this is the first time they've really brought that fullback back into the backfield here in this half. So, and there's the run up the middle by fumble. There's the ball. There's the ball. We'll see who has it. Thomas fumbles the ball. Looks like West thinks they have the ball at the 35, 36-yard line.
There was a fumble on the play.
There was a fumble, and Olathe East has it, got it back. So, fumbled to the 36-yard line. We'll look at this replay again.
He tried to run him over, and
he tried it. Nice stick right there.
Run him over, but.
And it was a fumble right there. So, but it'll be a 1st and 10 for Olathe East at the 36-yard line. There's going to be the pass. Thomas wants his man deep, and he's got him. And he drops it. Oh, he had Ray Lewis inside the 5-yard line, and he just dropped it.
I missed it again.
Well, sometimes better to be lucky than good in that case.
So Lewis drops the ball inside the 5-yard line. 9:32 left to go here. That'll stop the clock. Bring up a 2nd and 10 at the 36-yard line. And
that'd be nice to get some pressure on him when he's dropped back.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing, Chris. He's a little too comfortable back there in the pocket right now.
So Thomas in the shotgun. He's going to swing out Fountain to his right. He's going to run straight ahead. Nice job by Xavier Gleese. Xavier Gleese with a nice shoestring tackle to stop him for a 2-yard gain, and that could have went for a little bit more, probably not too much towards the first down, but nice job by Xavier Gleese.
Now you got to wonder with Olathe East being in kind of no man's land here, I got to believe it's almost 4-down territory.
Yeah, I got to believe that they're going to be going for it. If they don't make it here, they'll be going for it on 4th down. So Thomas is going to get Fountain out. He's going to look right over the middle. Oh, it's
there we go.
Nice job. Xavier Gleese got another one. It's incomplete. So this brings up a huge 4th down play right now.
You know, even bigger on that play is it stops the clock. So, again, 8:51, lots of time on the clock. You're only down by 1 score.
And we'll watch the replay here to see who knocked it down.
They're bringing in a big
Xavier
package.
Gleese who may have got it.
They're bringing in some big boys.
It was Xavier Gleese coming off the left end who got it. So 4th and 8, a big play here. Thomas back. He's going to pooch kick it. He's going
Yeah.
to pooch kick it here. And they
Oh!
off the side of us. Get away, get away, get away, get away. Just get away. I know you have a chance to.
Oh, there was nobody on that side, Dave. He picks that ball up. He had the whole sideline.
We'll also talk. Here, we'll watch the replay. We'll watch the replay.
Did somebody
here.
get their hand on that,
And
or
the
did he
pooch
just kick
punt.
it
No,
back?
he just shanked it off the pooch punt. Here's the only thing is you've got Aleo Gentry out there.
Yeah,
There
was one guy.
I'm not sure he's if he's used to returning punts and getting that. If he just mishandles that at all, it's their ball right there. So it's a good job. And I tell you what,
it's a nice
Trayvon
cut.
Gilliard's nice cut. He's got 10 yards all the way up to the 31-yard line. I like the way you know what? I will say this, as frustrated as we were in that first half, I really like the way they're playing now.
Well, and the other thing is, you've got now Olathe. Look at the body language on their defense versus the body language of our guys. Okay, they've been on the field. It's almost just a reversal of the first half.
Because that first half the defense was on the field the whole half. It seemed like.
And we had 9 yards and no first downs in the first half, and we're starting to get big plays here. He's trying to look deep, and he's got Will Humphreys, and just off his arm. That was just it was a tough play above his head, but a nice little throw down the sideline, and it's going to be incomplete. A 2nd and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, the thing about that too is you
couldn't quite
saw
get there.
Callahan probably had 10 yards out in front of him if he would have just pulled the ball down. Maybe 5. Of course, we all have been praising if he would have pulled that ball down. It was a nice pass.
So Callahan under center. There's the give to Trayvon Gilliard is going to get up to about a gain of 3 yards. Up to about the 33. We're watching I was watching the gymnastics on the other side, so there's a little bit of extracurricular activity.
It looked like he
going
could
on
have
the
went
way.
outside on that one. But
Is Mishak, is he in theater?
Yes, that was a little bit of little dance theater right there. So he and he fell over the top of his own man, so he did that. So a huge 3rd and 7 here. There's the give to Cadillo. He's going to blast his way for the first down. Nice job of running.
that was Travion, I think.
That was Trayvon.
Yeah.
So I thought they gave the quick, but it was Trayvon there. Trayvon, I tell you what, as much as the times we talked, so an 8-yard gain on 3rd down gives them 3rd and 7 gives them first down, but as much as he was hit in the backfield, turning his back in the first half when he got the line of scrimmage, he's running hard and well right now.
He's running downhill too.
There's your halfback pass, and he's got it. Wesley Clark with the halfback pass. He's got it all the way down to the 13-yard line. Mike, this was one of your surprises you talked about earlier that we might see was a halfback pass from Trayvon Gilliard.
That was a pretty darn good throw.
And that was a pretty good throw.
Good throw. He caught him right in stride.
Yeah.
I mean,
And we're going to watch this. We're going to watch this replay.
I didn't miss this one.
41-yard line, 9. So a 46-yard or a 36-yard pass all the way down to the 13-yard line. We're going to get back to the replay or to the play here. Trayvon Gilliard takes it. He's out to the 5. Oh, he doesn't quite get to the 5. He's down to the 8. Thought he was going to kick it outside and break that, and he didn't quite get it. So.
Yeah, and the good news is we can still get a first down inside the 5.
Yeah, because it looks about the 3 for the first down, huh?
So that pass play was 46 yards. 46 yards on the halfback pass from Gilliard to Wesley Clark. 46 yards brings it down to the 13, and now Callahan gives it back to Gilliard in the backfield. He's going to be met right at the 7-yard line, right at the line of scrimmage. No gain right there, middle of the field. And I tell you what, there's one thing to think about right here, guys. I think they're going to go for it because they can get the first down at the 3-yard line. And we'll see.
So what do you think though if they don't get it? You think go for a field goal?
No,
or?
I think they're gonna. I still think it's an 8-point game that they may still go for it. And one will be interesting to see what if they throw. There's going to be the throwback, and there's the throw to CJ. Broken up.
No.
That was probably a little bit of. You practice that a couple of times, Mike. That was the other trick play that you had talked about that you saw on film that may happen.
That was scary. That almost blew up in your face. I don't like that type of pass in that part of the field. There's not enough open field. Typically, when you're going to run that, you've got a big open field. You're on the short side of the field. You got a big wide side. That was a real dangerous pass.
So we'll see if they can make up. This is a play to make. This is a field goal attempt to try to make up for the extra point that was not converted earlier in the game off the snap. There's the snap, the back. There's the kick for Ruben Anderson. It is good.
Okay, good.
Ruben Anderson with the field goal. He gets the 25-yard field goal, and that makes it 28-23 Olathe East with 5:56 left to go here in the fourth quarter. We'll be right back after this timeout.
What do you think here? You think you squib it?
And Ruben Anderson, number 99, with the first field goal of his career, a 25-yard field goal, makes it 28-23 with 5:56 left to go. And he'll kick off here and see how they kick this, if they kick it through the middle and try to kick it away from Byers, who's had a few good returns. And they are creeping up like they think we're going to kick it through the middle of the field, and they kick it deep. Again to Byers. Byers fumbles it around the 5, picks it up, and he's gonna come around to get up, and you make your tackle. Nice job. So
is there not a block in the back?
So the tackle there by Cadeau and Cadillo, and a nice job there by West to.
Here's where West has got to really just dial up the defense. They can't let up on them.
So first and 10 at the 22-yard line. 5:47 left to go in this game. 28-23 West, down by 5, trying to make something happen here. Olathe East, there's the give. And nice job. Trayvon Gilliard shoots through there and gets a loss of 4 on first down. I tell you what, Gilliard just shot through that gap. If we get a chance to watch this replay, and our replay is just a little bit off, so I try to bring it through before we get the next play. But Gilliard really shot this gap and got in there and made a nice play for a loss of 4. There's the first down. Nice play by Gilliard. So we come back.
They got a little funky
Second and fourth down. Second and fourth, Bibbs in formation. Give right up the middle of the fountain.
No,
we can't let that happen. That's unfortunate right there. He had him stopped for about a gain of 7.
How did that happen?
He had him stopped for about a gain of 7, and he pops out of there and gets the gain all the way up to the 36-yard line. So it'll be a first and 10 at the 36-yard line. Just under 5 minutes left to go here in this game.
They need to bring in the big boys.
Here's where it's,
Smith, Posey,
it comes down to
Meshach.
who wants it more. I mean, really, at this point. Trayvon's showing that he wants it.
Trayvon's had a half, I can tell you that. Between offense and defense, he's had a half. There's Mason with the carry all the way up to the 42-yard line. So a gain of 6 on first down. You know what? That's one thing we stayed away from in the first, is giving them good yardage on first down. That's a really first big gain they've had on first down tonight.
Right. We just switched
in the
out
second half.
Just switched out some of our bigs on the line, and I think right now it's just coming down to he's going to have to suck it up. There's 4 minutes left, and it's gut check time.
So there's the trips, and that's the throw down the line that we've seen with those trips. You just got to get off those blocks, guys. They have those trip trip receivers out to one side and they throw it underneath, and those guys behind the line of scrimmage, those guys are going out and blocking, and it's usually good for about 5 yards or so. So another first down by Olathe East. 4 minutes exactly to go in the
And you got to start thinking about
game.
this clock, too.
Yeah, the good thing you've got all your timeouts left,
right.
and they haven't. So it's 4 minutes to go, 3 timeouts left. 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line. Olathe East, and there's Bibbs going back out, and it's going to be kept by Thomas. And nice job. I tell you what, guys, Trayvon Gilliard is having himself a game right now.
Well, and I think he ran into Dante
Dante
Smith-Posey, too. Yeah,
Smith-Posey.
you're not moving him too far. You know, the only thing that scares me, I'm kind of watching our DBs on the side, and we're playing a little soft. I mean, we're in a game right now where it's like, hey, we can't be giving up first downs. We got to play a little tight.
So 2nd and 8, 3.5 minutes left to go in this game. There's the snap back to Thomas, and he's going to give it to Fountain, who cuts outside and met
Nice,
at the nice job. Gain of 2, and it'll be a huge 3rd down here. 3rd and about 6 yards at the 49-yard line. West takes its first time out here.
I think I'd probably wait to see what happens on 3rd down.
You got your timeouts. I think you got to take it here.
I agree with that. I always been a fan of, you can't control the clock when you're on defense, so that's the time you use your timeouts. On offense, you can control the clock. So I don't like, you would have run another 35 seconds off the clock.
Yeah, it would have been down to about 240. It probably easily would have been down to 240 to 245 by the time that goes, and you got to save it there. So here's the situation: 3rd and 7 at West's 49-yard line. There's 3:15 left to go. 28-23. Olathe East hanging on to that lead. The 28-0 lead at halftime is shrunk down to a 5-point advantage right now, and West needs a stop ever this year. This is it right here. So
yeah, and I think here somebody who's paying attention to Fountain. Somebody needs to be in his back pocket.
Somebody needs to make a play and get back in there, right here.
So Thomas back there with Fountain at his hip, and Thomas is looking, and there's the catch, and you just got to tackle. That's short. That's short by a yard. That is short. Wesley Clark makes a huge tackle, and it's short by a yard. And we'll see why Olathe East decides to go.
Okay, well that isn't the same.
As we watch this, and we got another timeout. We'll watch this replay as the timeout goes. Wesley Clark makes a great tackle right here, because this is all between him and really the game probably, as he gets Miles Wills for a tackle and 1 yard short of the first down here.
I'm glad they don't have instant replay in high school. I thought that was a favorable spot for West.
So
I'll tell you, if I'm East, you could put us away with the first down. I'd rather pinch us back deep and say, you know what, I'm going to make you run the whole field and beat me that way.
And I think you'll know whether to do it. I don't think after that last pooch punt and how poorly executed it was, you're going to see another pooch punt.
No.
It's either they're going to go for it or they'll go back into a traditional punting formation and kick it away. I'd be terribly surprised if they try to pooch punt again. We'll see what happens. Guys, this is close to the ball game. 3:04 left to go, and it looks like they are going to go for it. Yeah. There's a 4th and 1 at the 44-yard line. Here's where you got to watch. You got to hold your water.
And,
don't get pulled off. And West, and there's the clock. The play clock had not started yet. East got to
0-7.
Oh, they had not started. That was West got really lucky there. They had not put the extra 3 seconds on the clock yet. So they stopped it, and Olathe East was trying to catch us a little early.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you got to hold your water. You can't jump off sides here. And they're going to keep running.
Yeah, I think they're just going to try to draw us here. Too much motion. They're not doing anything.
There's 9 seconds on the play clock. 7 seconds on the play clock. 5, 4. They're going to call timeout. So nice job by the West defense not to get confused in all that motion. They were bringing guys around. They had guys, I tell you what, they made ineligible receivers in here. They had them covered up.
Right.
You could see it wasn't going to be a pass at this point when they covered eligible receivers. They made receivers on the other line ineligible. It was going to be a run the whole way if they did it. Now, let's see what happens. I would expect them to punt here. I would have not have expected them to run that much time to not do anything.
I think the same thing. If you were going to go for it, you're going to go for it then. I don't think you come back now with a play. I think you were looking for them to give you. I mean, I don't blame them. Wes has been proven to be a little bit undisciplined over the last few weeks with a lot of penalties, and why not? Why not get a freebie? So. This is what's fun about this game. First of all, we were hoping for a good game tonight because we knew it was kind of two teams kind of desperate.
They're bringing their offense back in. Grouse is the punter, and he's not there. So we'll see what happens here. They pooch punted out of this formation before, but I don't think they're going to pooch punt this time. There's the give to Fountain up the middle. He's got the first down. So he got up to the 41-yard line of first down. So that'll give them the chance to run a few more seconds off the clock, and West has to get a stop here. They only have one more first down.
Well, the frustrating part, too, is now that you keep the clock running.
Yeah.
And we already had to use one of our timeouts.
So 2:58 left to go here in the game. I tell you what, if West ever needed a turnover, this would be it. Let's see if they can pop a ball free here on a run here. Thomas is under center this time, and there's the give to Fountain straight ahead. Oh, and he trips up, and that was fortunate there. So a 5-yard gain on first down will make it 2nd and 5. Unfortunately, he got tripped up there as he was trying to cut back. So 2nd and 5, 2:20 left to go here in the game. West needs a stop. They really need a turnover here if they can, because
you need a stop and a timeout.
Where Olathe East is, you think they're going for it on 4th down too. They may punt back. They may pin them back, but we'll see here. There's the give to Fountain, and that's probably the game right there, guys. They're going to get a first down. So that's a first down at the 31-yard line, and we're 1:54 left to go here, and
First and 10 Hawks.
We'll see if West can get a stop here. They really need one. So the play clock and the game clock starts. This ball will be snapped with about 1:28 left to go. So three men in the backfield. Thomas, and he's going to keep it and go forward, and he gets forward to about the 28-yard line, and West will take its final timeout. 1:26 left to go.
No, we have. Oh yeah, we do. I'm sorry, I was looking at the wrong side of the scoreboard. I thought we had 2 timeouts.
That's West's last timeout. So, guys, about the only thing that we can do right now, and you know, Thomas, as you watched him in there, he kept 2 arms around the ball.
Right.
He doesn't want to give it up because he did fumble earlier in the second half, going up the middle there.
These guys are going to just about be able to run the clock out. I mean, if you stop them, they're going to run 4 downs. There's no reason for them not to run 4 downs, Dave. And
we might have what?
Net
15 seconds or
a couple
something.
seconds left on the clock. Yeah, maybe.
So, if you run it,
depending on how it takes to run a play,
those downs. You're probably going to run at least 80 seconds off the clock, and there's 86 seconds on the clock right now. So, at best, you may be getting the ball back with about 10 seconds left, and you're looking for a long pass, hook and ladder, something down the field. So we'll see what goes on. They just got to get a stop here. That's the biggest thing. So 2nd and 7. There's the action across. There's a pitch back to Fountain. Fountain's going to get it down.
Push him out of bounds.
Out of bounds, but he gets his first down. He is short and out of bounds.
Right.
Huge play running out of bounds. That's bad situational awareness by your running back
Yeah.
not to go down in bounds.
There's a
So-
no. What are they starting the clock?
No, the clock doesn't stop. That went out of bounds.
He called it out of bounds.
That went out of bounds. That should not start the clock. Well, they're running out anyway, so 22 seconds.
They got 5, 4.
5. They're going to snap the ball. It's on the 22-yard line, a 3rd and 1 here,
No, they
Delay a game.
and delay a game. So 49 seconds left to go. Here it's going to be a 3rd and 6. They run this, and you think they run about 5 seconds on a play before the next one.
Hit ball. Delay game.
So you can run it. You're running about 19 seconds before you snap. It's about going to be about 15 seconds before this ball snapped if they stop them here, because you figure you got 5 seconds, 25 seconds to spot it, 5 seconds to run. You probably got 35 seconds running off the clock here, which is about 14 seconds when the ball is going to have to be snapped on 4th down if they get a stop here.
I don't understand why you either didn't snap the ball or you call a timeout.
Absolutely.
I don't even think their coaches knew the play clock was down that low.
I don't think they did either, Chris. You'd mentioned it was down to 4, and they weren't ready to snap the ball at all. So a huge 3rd and 6 play right here.
Here you just got.
And there's Thomas, and he's going to keep it up the middle, and he's met, and it's down. And we'll see when they start the clock.
Get him up.
Start the clock. You got to start the clock. They almost gave him 8 seconds by not starting the clock right there.
I don't understand why they weren't starting the clock. The ball was set.
So 8 seconds left to go. They'll go for this, and I could see them running around for a little while.
He's just going to do a knee.
He's just going to back up.
They'll go to a knee. We'll get the ball with about 8 seconds left in the game.
Or no.
You got to get there. You got to get there. You got to get there. Guys, you got to get there.
Get him down.
Get him down. Oh, that's horrible. You got to blow the whistle. As long as it took you to spot the ball over here, you gave them 7 to 8 other seconds. You got to blow the whistle here and give them a play.
There's got to be
There should
something
be
on the
at least
clock.
1 second left on the clock for West to get at least a play off.
He's got to be the pass.
Yes, there's once.
It doesn't really
1
matter if
second
there's
left on the
1
clock.
or 3, but there's
Right.
got to be something on the clock.
West got the ball.
I'll take 10 seconds. So 1 second on the clock.
It'll be 1st and 10 of Vikings.
Who's this
So-
Yahoo over here?
That's ours. That's us.
Jeez.
Now, the one thing you got to hope for, guys, here's where if you had the cheetah, you're not throwing it all the way down. Look at that, 40 yards with the gap right there.
Yeah.
I'm putting it right in the middle.
You're throwing it right in the middle, and you're getting all your receivers downfield. You're getting it over to Trayvon down the middle, and you're getting all your receivers to block those guys downfield.
Well, and you're just doing the Stanford drill. Oh, no.
Oh, that's probably going to be a. We'll see. I don't know if it's an offensive penalty. It's going to be a hold on West, and that's the game, guys.
How you?
A valiant effort here by West. Falls short. 28 to 23. Olathe East gets the win. No time left to go, and we'll be right back after this timeout. And we're back here at CBAC. Final score, Olathe East 28, Shawnee Mission West 23. I tell you what, the Vikings pitch a shutout there in the second half, coming back from a 28-0 halftime deficit. Here's the scoring for the full game again. So with 5:28 left to go in the first half, Thomas throws a 5-yard touchdown pass to Fountain. The extra point was no good, and it was 6-0 Olathe East. 3:45 left to go in the first quarter. Thomas to Byers for a 50-yard touchdown pass. The extra point good. It was 13-0. 11:35 left to go in the first half. Fountain with a 4-yard run. The extra point again was no good. 19-0 Olathe East. A safety with 9:31 left to go in the first half was made a 21-0 Olathe East lead, and then the scoring was capped off in the first half by Thomas to Lewis on a 27-yard pass with 54 seconds left to go, and it was 28-0 at halftime, and that's where we were. And as we said, West pitched a shutout in the second half. They opened the scoring with 8:36 left to go in the third quarter. Callahan throws 22 yards to Wesley Clark for a touchdown. The extra point was no good, 28-6. And then Callahan adds a 1-yard run with 5:11 left to go in the third quarter, making it 28-13. Callahan with another 22-yard touchdown pass to Wesley Clark with 10:53 left in the game, made it 28-20. Reuben Anderson kicks his first field goal of his high school career, a 25-yard field goal with 5:56 left to go in the game, made it 28-23, and that was all the scoring, guys. And West had a couple of chances and to get the ball back, and just couldn't get off the field there on that last drive. Late with 1 second left, they got the ball back, but Olathe East did what they needed to do there on that last drive to virtually run out the clock.
Yeah, I mean, it's a frustrating game for you, thinking, boy, you had a real chance to win the game. The thing I've got to look at as a coach is got to say, I love the effort that the kids put in the second half. I love the fact that it would have been real easy to lay down at halftime, come back out, lay an egg. You had been fading in the second half all year long, and you came back and you almost have 3 scores essentially in a quarter to get yourself back in the game. Now, at the end there, you ran out a little bit of gas. You had yourself in a chance to win the game down deep on your third drive. Had you converted a first down, you're right there. You kick a field goal, which isn't bad. You had 6 minutes left. In that situation, you got to believe, you know what, you're in a position to come back in all 3 timeouts to come back downfield. So again, hey, an exciting game for people to watch. A little frustrating to come up a little short on the west side, but again, you got to love the effort. You got to love some of these guys really stepping up. Trayvon Gilliard, I mean, that kid played a heck of a game, both sides of the ball. I mean, not only on offense. I mean, the effort he put out on offense, but the effort he put in on defense as well. Now, it charged up some of the other players on the team. Let's play off of that. Let's get these guys going. And again, you're only 6 games in.
So some stats for the second half, and these are second half stats only. And honestly, for the first half, there weren't many stats for West. So. But in the second half, Callahan with 99 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, both 22 yards touchdown passes to Wesley Clark. He was 6 of 9 for those 99 yards. Gilliard was 1 of 1 for 46 yards on the halfback pass to Wesley Clark. And Gilliard, we were talking about 46 yards passing, 90 yards rushing on 10 carries. And a couple of really, really nice runs where you look like he was down.
Right.
And then a 22-yard gain and a 41-yard gain after it looks like he gets stopped for about a 2-yard gain. Callahan with no yards on 4 carries. Cadillo 1 yard on 1 carry. Humphreys 34 yards on 1 carry in the second half. Humphreys with 26 yards receiving on 2 catches in the second half. Wesley Clark, a big night in the second half. 105 on 4 catches of 15, 22, 22, both touchdowns and 46 yards. Xavier Gleese with 19 yards catching on 1 reception in the second half. Thomas, this is the nice thing to look at. So we were looking in the first half of I think it was 129 yards passing. He had 5 yards passing on 2 of 7 in the second half. They did a really, really nice job of him in the second half. 149 yards in the first half, only 5 in the second half. Fountain, 49 yards and on 9 carries in the first half, 57 yards on 17 carries in the second half. Right. So they did. You can't say enough for what the defense did. Thomas, minus 2 yards now. Most of that was on the last play. He probably had 12 yards before that last play, but minus 2 yards in the second half. And Wills only 10 passing yards between Wills and Fountain, or receiving yards in the second half. So you got to hand it to West on both sides of the ball in that second half, scoring 23 points and not giving up a point in the second half. This was the inverse of every game we've had this year, guys.
Yeah, and the other thing too, I think a relatively clean game. I don't think I can't recall that many penalties in the second half, if any. I mean, so it just shows you what they're capable of doing, executing, mixing it up a little bit, playing some strong defense, being a little bit aggressive, and just mental attitude. I mean, you could just see a difference in body language, attitude, effort out there tonight that we commented on in weeks past that we thought we were lacking a little bit of effort.
That was night and day between the first and second half. We were walking around, we were running and jumping around in the first half, and it was exactly the opposite. And it was nice to see, and that was we talked about there, in the halfway through the fourth quarter. That was fun football to watch.
Right.
It honestly, for the last this year and part of last year, it hasn't always been the most fun football to watch. That was a really good half of football by the Vikings.
Well, and especially if you just simply look at the game on paper, and after the first half being down 28-0, you would have written them off. I mean, we've been only averaging 12 points a game. We haven't scored at all in the third quarter all year until this game, and we've even scored 14 points in the second half. So to turn that around. Now it's about, okay, guys, you guys did that for a half. We got to do that for a game.
Yeah.
We can't just do this,
Well, and it was like at the end of the first half, there was 55 seconds left in the game. In the half, and we had 3 timeouts, and we were, I think, at the 30, I don't know, our own 30 or whatever, but I think with 3 timeouts and 55 seconds, I think I would have tried to get some points on the board, and we didn't use 1 timeout. So if you could get some points in the board before halftime, and maybe that changes a little bit, but who knows?
It's just going to be nice to, what's going to happen at some point. It's going to be fun to see when it kicks in for a whole game, and not just a first half or a second half, but it really kicks in for the whole game.
Yeah, because it looked like we were just kind of moseying around, like you guys have been saying in the first half, and just not really putting any effort forward.
The first half was tough to watch. It really was. That second half was fun to watch. So
well, and it was like we talked about. I mean, there's no decided favor in this. You come into this game, they're basically relatively the same team. One team had 1 win, the other team had no wins. But then when you see the one team jump out to a 28-0 lead, you're going, what the heck's going on here? There's no way there could be that much disparity. And then sure as heck, and we talked about it. And again, I really thought it was kind of a pipe dream at the time. I said, hey, adrenaline changes. Kids are 16, 17 years old. There's no reason why West couldn't do the same thing. And you come out and you put 2 scores up in the third quarter, really almost 3 because you scored just at the beginning of the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, hey, it's different like we talked about. All of a sudden the swag's now on the other side of the field. These guys are over here with their heads dropped, and it's a completely different ball game.
That first drive was huge. We talked about it at halftime that you just got to get – you're down 28-0. It's just going to be one play, and then the next play, and the next play. And they moved the ball. They had some nice 15-yard gains, then the 22-yard gain, and then the 22-yard touchdown pass. It was just nice to see them just go at it and keep at it that whole time. They did a good job of that. So I'm happy, proud of them, and happy for them. but you just got to build on it. You can't stop
Sure.
here. You got Shawnee Mission North next week, senior night. It's another Thursday night game.
Right.
So you got Thursday night game at home for senior night to get these guys out, and you know these seniors want a win,
It's a pride
big
game.
time, and so you got to take that second half. The last thing that can happen is they play another first half like they did tonight. They've got to play two halves like they did the second half tonight.
Absolutely.
So that'll do it from College Boulevard Activity Center tonight. A Thursday night game. Shawnee Mission West Vikings go down to defeat 28-23 to Olathe East. But a nice comeback in the second half. But just falls short. So we'll see everybody next week. Thursday night game again at Shawnee Mission South Stadium against Shawnee Mission North. And for Mike Rellahan and Chris Turner and DJ Turner, this is David Compton saying goodnight. And Mike, I'll let you sign off.
Hey, as we said, we finally lived up to it this week. West is best.
All right. Good night, everybody.